It off. Hold on. Hell yeah. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Where do you shut that? Got it. Hello, everybody.
What's good, love? How you feeling?
Good. How are you?
All right. I'm all right.
Oh, I didn't realize I'm mistaken self for Tyrone. He's coming. He's just using the bathroom. So today's topic, you guys are going to debate game versus black pill.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Everyone's talking about debate. Like it's a conversation. You know what I mean? It's a conversation. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But we call it what we want, but it's really just gonna be a conversation, and and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Wow, it's popping. But yeah.
Okay, we popping. What's up, word? I see we live.
Sorry, I was just helping my mom, and I was like, "Oh no, I have this show." But yeah, we like to call it a debate because we like blood sport.
You're talking to it. Be careful what you wish for from a paratrooper. I mean, we were trained in blood sport, so what's going on in YouTube versus what goes on in the real world, two different things. I really want to help dudes out, though. I mean, it's a lot of conversation. I see a lot of dudes out there looking for answers, need some help.
Yeah.
And I'm an old dude. So I'm even wearing my nerdy Robotech shirt, man. For anybody who knows what's up with that. I'm an old guy. I watched this growing up.
How was your comedy show yesterday?
It was all right. It was a good show. We had Michael Turner. It was a really good comic, really good road comic. Originally from Cincinnati, which I'm from Cincinnati as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Cincinnati, and I left when I was very young, and I ain't look back. You know what I'm saying? Once I got a taste of the real world, it was hard. It's hard for me to go home, but still, it's home though. You know what I mean? It defines who we are. Shout out to my brothers over there on my pod. We're simul streaming this on my pod as well.
Cool.
Anybody watching this on I really want to know, y'all know what it is. Welcome. I'm not going to be highlighting chats like we normally do and all that, so don't get mad at me, y'all. It's the first time I've done this. I'm gonna be busy talking and debating and blood sporting, whatever Torshaa over here got me doing. You know what I mean? It's her fault right here.
Pull him out for his shit. Why do you put that? That was me. I know. Put that up there. He always does that. Wow, you're really good at talking. I suck at intros. That was so good.
Hey, it's Will. Thank you. I've been around the block a couple times. And we can get to my background or whatever. But girl, you got to promise to come over to our platform. I gotta get you over there.
Yeah, whenever. I stream every day. Honestly, I just suck at planning stuff. Like I was surprised I even did this today. So I'm like horrible. But what time do you normally stream? I'll pop in.
Yeah, Monday through Thursdays, 6 p.m. What I'll do is I'll just shoot you a link. We'll work it out. Don't worry about it. We'll work it out behind the scenes. We'll make it happen.
Honestly, if you just pick the day and send me the link, that's fine.
And that's what we'll do.
Yeah, I'm horrible at making decisions.
Shout out to y'all chat. What's going on with all the Torshaa folks out there? You know what I mean? Hope y'all are doing well. I see my dudes are in there. Colonel Sanders, my brother, he up in there. You know what I mean? Brother Mike's in there somewhere. Some of my folks.
I should have you do my intro.
$5.
Good. Hold on, let me let my dog in.
So yeah, guys, we're about to get into this as soon as Brother Tyrone shows up, man. Been looking forward to having this conversation. I'm new to the Mano Swamp, bro. Shout out to Rich Cooper. The Manosphere Red Pill, all these different colored pills, guys. We need to talk about it, man. End of the day, we just gotta get out there and just make it happen, y'all. Or at least attempt to make it happen. Some will fail. Some will fail a lot, but some will also manage to get on. The black pill stuff, man. I'm just not a quitter. You know what I mean? When I hear black pill, I think quitting. Like I ain't quitting, bro. We got to take me through it before I quit.
You're going to be pleasantly surprised. I guess the black pill is just more looks before game.
Hmm.
Like red pills, like you could be kind of ugly, but you can still pull. I think we both agree on this. Like social skills trump looks. Maybe not, but you have the experience of being in the streets. So I'm like, maybe you understand the other side too. I never really get to talk to people who are hoes or former hoes.
Yeah, would you call me a retired hoe? I guess. You know what I mean?
Men were the original 304s, but yeah,
I mean,
no.
we're built to be 304s. That's what we're supposed to do. If you ain't 304 and you ain't living, you know, go out there and get your little something.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. Tyrone's here. Tyrone.
Brother
Hey,
Tyrone.
how are you?
Okay.
How are you
brother?
guys doing?
Good.
All right.
So the way I'm going to do this, because I wanted to edit the other debate, when I'm on here, it looks like shit. So I'm going to step down. I'm just going to let you guys talk. And if I feel the need to clarify or anything, I'll just pop in.
Yeah, for the edits. That makes sense. Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs are barking. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. This is game versus looks, right? Yeah.
Well, it's black pill versus
Red pill.
what? Yeah, because
My
obviously
bad.
the way I look at the black pill, I look at the totality of the black pill. I'm not a
Yeah.
lookism guy.
Got
I've
it.
debated a bunch of the lookism guys. Again, in a lot of these guys' cases, their neurodivergence, their location, their social circle, all of that stuff. A lot of these guys, that's more of their problem than the look.
Well, I'm going to let you guys get
Oh, I'm sorry.
to
I'm
it.
sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Fucking Tyrone. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So what's good, brother? Pleasure to meet you, man. I guess I've never done a quote unquote debate. I see all of it out there in certain parts of, you know what I'm saying, YouTube.
Yeah.
So brother,
And
I'm gonna
just
let
real
you.
quick before you continue, I want you to continue, but I just want to say, just to clarify, some people already may know this, but I do debate a lot of people where there's kind of a middle ground where I agree with what they say. And I did like an hour and a half long debate like a year and a half ago with Melanie King. So I am a little bit familiar with you, and I can say you do make some valid points. So whether this is a debate or a conversation, I don't predict this is going to be like a total disagreeable thing where, you know, I don't come off as reasonable. I think we'll find a good amount of points we agree on. I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but
No, it's gonna be mostly common ground, bro. I mean, I guarantee you that it's gonna be mostly common ground. So let's start with I'm new to this. I'm new to this world. I'm new to Torsha's page as well, and you're more familiar here. So do me a favor, man. Like, you know, just give me like the quick elevator pitch, man. Like, you know, like about you. You know what I mean? And then I'll do the same, and then we'll get into the conversation.
yeah. So any anything about me I need to bring up, or if I need to use as an example in a hypothetical or whatever, I will. But I'm known to monologue, so I'll try to, you know, spare Torsha's audience the trouble. So I'll try to be, you know, pretty, you know, quick, because I know I tend to ramble. But to give you a general sense of where I'm coming from versus other black pillars you may have encountered in the past, who may have been known as like the doomer sector or the nihilist or whatever you want to call it. I just look at it as it's basically, whether it's philosophy, a study, whatever you want to call it, because I just look at it as it's in the infant stages. So this is the stage where the guys that have beliefs in it, they need to work out the nuances. They need to have their own debates amongst themselves. Because this is not like democratic socialists who have 100 years or 200 years of history to go off of, and they have a bunch of, you know, thought leaders or politicians in the past they could call back on. This is something that has existed for less than 20 years or less than 30 years or whatever. I don't know. You know, I don't know who the first black pillar was, so, you know, forgive me. But the way I interpret it is genetic determinism, female autonomy, and meta and micro logistics affect dating as much as or more so than an individual's free will. That's the way I could sum up the black pill in the most like simplistic way without getting extreme or putting any of my own personal biases into it. That's the way I look at it. So that would include your looks, your height, That would include your neurotypicality, your temperament. That would include your environment in your formative years, your social circle in your formative years, whether what trajectory your parents put you on as far as all the whatever stats you guys want to pull up as far as nutrition, education, yada yada yada. Your phenotype, the location you're born in, the culture your parents were brought up in. All and especially in the modern day, female autonomy, which before maybe the early sexual revolution in the 60s or whenever it was, before that point, women on like a or I'm sorry, on a macro scale, or at least a countrywide scale, because I know it's not global, like third world and second world have their own issues. But as far as like America and certain Western countries, before the 1960s, female autonomy being realized to such a degree was never a factor in the dating market. So once the original, Woodstock and the sexual revolution and all that good stuff, LSD and the hippies, and then in the 70s you had disco. I'm just saying, even before modern day, you had some precursors that was going on now. Now, fast forward to now, you have women, because I hate using females. I just use women, and yes, unless I'm using female as an adjective. Women have more autonomy now than they ever have had ever. So that's an entirely new macro factor that men as a whole were not ready for. So I think Black Pill as a whole is not just about being insecure about your individual looks. Tyrone. It's about analyzing all of those factors.
Am I really quiet?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was it. So DL can go.
No. I want you to close out and come back in because your audio is really staticky.
Oh, I can like.
Is there a way to?
I can change my mic or whatever while DL's talking.
Yeah, it's picking up a lot of background noise, and it's.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah.
No, you're good.
But DL, could you at least hear my words I was saying?
Yeah. I heard every word.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mute up real quick and my headset. I'll change it. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
But yeah.
Thank you. I'll get off.
Okay. So from an old school perspective, like from like 'cause a lot of what Brother Tyrone was saying, I get where he's coming from. Technology has definitely changed the field, the sexual marketplace, the dating landscape completely. You know what I mean? 100% changed it in a massive way. But the fundamentals have never changed. I don't think they ever will. When it comes down to it, the bottom line when it comes to, especially we're talking about the sexual marketplace, we're talking about dating, we're talking about getting out there and meeting women. You got to just do it, right? You just got to do it. A lot of guys, and a lot of stuff that I just heard right there, a lot of that is, okay, we're going to use data and we're going to use science and we're going to use, evolutionary, psych and all this kind of stuff to justify or to paint me in a better light because I couldn't succeed. Right. So, and what am I trying to say is just like, hey, man, you know what I mean? You lost and you don't want to say you lost. And I put a lot of that on everyone gets a trophy. I put a lot of that on, participation awards and all that kind of stuff, man. So just to give you guys an idea of the world that I'm coming from, I'm in my 50s, guys. You know what I mean? I grew up, I was a young kid in the 70s, became a teenager in the 80s and through the 90s, got out of high school, joined the military. I fought in Desert Storm. I was a paratrooper. I was in the streets, you know what I mean? Doing whatever I was doing, constantly trying to better myself. I end up working for the FAA as the air traffic controller. I did over 20 years in that field and now I'm retired and I'm sitting back. So as an old man looking back on what I've done, what I've accomplished, my successes, my failures, and I see this space. I see a lot of dudes who were first afraid to try, and then those who did try and got smacked down, they just want to run away and look for other reasons, to justify their failure, right? And I'm not saying that in a negative way, guys. It's just, I got to talk like Uncle Saint. I got to talk like the coach, right? If you want to win, you got to play. And if you want to play, that means you got to train. You got to train hard. There's a lot of stuff you got to do. So, you look at someone like Rollo Tomasi, you look at, people like Rich Cooper, you look at Donovan Sharp, you look at Coach Greg Adams, all the guys, the older dudes, they're pretty much preaching the same thing. There's slight variants here and there, but what are they preaching, bro? They're just trying to say, hey, wake up, understand the rules of the game. This is what we're doing, right? And shout out to the chat out there, guys. Hey, while we're going off on these rants, don't forget to like, y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell everybody to jump on in here. It's Saturday night. Normally I'll be out doing bad boy stuff, but I'm here. If you guys are here, we are so happy for you for being here and sharing this time with us. When I look at the red pill, right, and just the term itself, red pill, right? Let's take it to the matrix where the term came from. The only thing to me that the red pill means is we're going to open your eyes to the way things really are. Not necessarily the way society says it should be, not the way your mom and dad said it should be. This is what it is out here in the trenches. This is what it is where the rubber meets the road, right? And when it comes to female nature, when it comes to dating, there's certain things that women tend to like, right? But across the board, women want guys who are the best that they can get. Just like dudes are going to want the best car they can get, right? If money is no object, right? If money is no object and I say, hey, man, go out and get whatever car you want. Money is no object, right? You're going to go out there and get the absolute best.
I think both genders are hypergamous.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think if everybody had the option, I think everybody goes for their best option and not just on looks. I'm saying the best overall option that's compatible with them. I think everybody typically goes for that. Now, you may have some rich dudes who will take a model who they know they're not compatible with, but that old dude, he's like, F it, I'm retired. I just want a play toy for the next 10 years or whatever. So cool. Just like the racist owner that was fired from the Clippers or whatever a few years ago, and he let his model wife mess with black dudes on the side, even though he was racist. He didn't care. He was a sugar daddy. He probably got chicks from Seeking, just like Indian PE. Those dudes, whatever, have your fun. But yeah, I agree with what you just said, though. I think most men, it's easy for them to paint the narrative that only women are hypergamous because they can frame themselves as innocent. Like, oh, I'm the loyal guy. I never did anything wrong. I've never wanted to cheat on any girl. I've never had wandering eyes. Like it's easy for them to paint that picture. So to the outside world, they can curry favor. They can get public opinion. They can, these guys, we feel sorry for these good men, these upstanding men, and they're dating these hypergamous thoughts that are leaving them at the drop of a dime for a guy that makes more money. But that's really cool.
Right. And that's
cool.
But
that's partially cool. It's partially cool. I'm not going to say there's truth. There's some, it's a half truth, but yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine, brother. And like I said, I'm an older cat. I'm assuming you're younger. How old are you, brother? If you don't mind sharing.
I'm 35, so I'm in the middle. I'm a millennial, a younger millennial, but I'm in the middle. And a lot of my friends are younger. They're like late 20s, early 30s. So we're kind of in the middle of everybody because that late 20s up to mid 30s kind of range, we've kind of, a lot of us, at least in the 30s, we were in college before Tinder really popped off. So we're old enough to kind of remember the mid 2000s and how it was before the black pill kind of, emerged in the later 2010s with Tinder and social media popping off. But we're still young enough to kind of relate to the guys in their earlier 20s. So when I agree with some of the statements you made as far as doomers, but I think black pillars like me, or guys that are black pill aware, I should say, they may not call themselves black pill, but they lean more towards that, but they still date women. Like I literally had a girlfriend. I had a channel for a couple years, or the first one got deleted, but I literally had a girlfriend living with me. And I would call in to Melanie King. I would call into the Pineapple Show. And there were some points where I couldn't date a chick on the Pineapple Show because I literally had a girlfriend living with me at the time. So at those times, I would just call in to do debates and stuff. Because I'm like, yo, Melly, I'll call in and make content and do debates. But I live with my girlfriend. I ain't going to speed date no girlfriend. I mean, speed date no chick. And my girlfriend's downstairs cooking. I'm not that desperate to make content. But
all right,
I agree with you. If you're talking about doomers specifically, I agree with almost everything you said. I just think a lot of reasonable guys that do deal with women they're not just drawing their conclusions from data. Like when I debated wheat waffles, everything he said that he picked out of a study, I could not only could I challenge him on the basis of the study or logic, I literally already lived through it because I'm 35. I'm about to be 36 in less than a month. And wheat waffles is like 21 maybe or something. And I'm like, bro, everything that the audience agreed with wheat waffles, that they said, yeah, he destroyed you, Tyrone. Wheat waffles made a good point. I'm like, do y'all not realize everything y'all agree with him on was something I lived through already and I agree with him on? But the only points that I brought up and disagreed with him, like when I brought up how he overanalyzes people's faces with his own biases, whereas he could recommend them to a regular plastic surgeon who could pay them a similar rate to do the same thing he does, to give them a legitimate analysis of, hey, if you're a deformed dude, or if you got a cleft palate or something that's extremely wrong with your face, or your ears are asymmetrical, you want to get that a procedure, I would rather them go to a plastic surgeon than wheat waffles. So I literally got wheat waffles to admit to me that he would have to pull back a little bit on his advice on guys, doing surgeries on their face and stuff. So again, when you're talking about humor specifically, I agree with you, but the black pill truths, or some of the truths these young black pillers talk about, I've already lived through. Some of the shit they talk about, I don't even need to study to tell me. Like when Sergio spurgs about pre-selection and make choice copying, I'm like, bro, you just Philly when we were 13,
Hey,
14,
Tyrone, your mic, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, your
I'll
mic is
fix
like,
it. I'll mute
okay.
up and fix it. My bad. You can go.
Okay. All right. So I think we've established kind of where we're sitting on this, right? we got Tyrone, young man in his prime, and then we got old Uncle Saint over here, right? So we're gonna definitely get to it as soon as brother Tyrone gets his mic squared away. I say,
is it any better now or no?
Yeah, it's better now. I'll let you know if it cranks up again.
Yeah,
so
because I can always call. I can always call in on my phone. Worst case scenario, but
okay, we'll keep you posted. So let's start with one of the shows. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I was watching from the wings, and you mentioned that even guys who are good at womanizing are black pill. Let's start there, bro. What did you mean by that? Because I gotta disagree with you there, bro. Like black pill, like come on now. I can describe myself in many ways, but to say that I'm black pill, I don't know about that. So just tell me exactly what you mean by that.
I'm glad you brought this up because this is this is a good topic. A lot of womanizers I've met, not just through YouTube, just currently, just years ago when I was in my 20s and all that. A lot of them are either red pill without knowing it, or somewhat red pill, or a lot of them are black pill without knowing it. So meaning, when I was younger, a lot of our friends, because I had a lot of friends that were like, more popular than me, more extroverted, taller, et cetera, et cetera. So I was usually the most introverted person in the group whenever I went out. So most of my feedback, or most of my anecdotes, they're coming from situations where I was the most introverted person. So I wasn't just hanging around with nerds. I'm not theorizing from an ivory tower like wheat waffles with a 4 body count. I was going out with Chadron lights. So the dudes, these two, like my best friend in college was a white
They're
dude.
static again.
Oh, okay.
They want you to use your phone.
Yeah, I'll call in from my phone. But what was your
Well, when you come back, come back, we're gonna talk about.
My friends were black pill because. Am I still staticky?
Yeah.
Is it still okay?
Yeah, I can hold on to your point though, because I know.
Yeah, I'll
All right, so
what he's saying right now is that there's red pill, black pill, blue pill. Black pill is essentially red pill. The only difference is that they're acknowledging that looks matter more than game. They think that red pill is selling a faulty dream and trying to make money off of men's insecurities, when really, because looks are the main factor, there's no way that you can pay these guys to learn game. There's no way you can do a course and actually pick up women. He's saying that black pill, a lot of guys that bang a lot of women are technically black pill, but people see black pill as being incel, doomer, that sort of a thing. There's face raiders, which he doesn't like and I don't like. They like measure your chins and shit. There's doomers, who are the guys that probably will never get laid and they're annoying about it. They're mean. And then you have incels. Incels kind of gather in all groups. Honestly, they're fine. But Black Pill is just saying that your looks matter. You have to looks max as much as you can. It's in your control. And then that's what you got to lower your expectations.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more with that. Like when someone says that all that matters is looks, they haven't been in these trenches. I mean, we came up when I went to high school. There was a guy. His nickname was Monkey Man. The reason we called him Monkey Man is because he looked like a monkey. 100%, guys. This is a world where we didn't give a fuck about your feelings. That's the world we came up in. It wasn't this soft and cuddly thing that's going on today. Yeah. If you look like a monkey, they're gonna say you look like a monkey, you know. And but Monkey Man was getting on. He had girls. He was out there doing his thing. He played sports. He was in the streets. He was doing his thing. The looks did not matter. None of us had money like that. Mm-hmm. None of us. The only people who had money like that coming up were the D-boys, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, so money was never the end all be all. Looks were never the end all be all. All these things come into play, and all these things are qualifiers, and all these things can help. But you could be the most beautiful man in ever created. You know, you could be absolutely gorgeous. And if you don't know how to talk to a woman, right? If you come off sounding, you know what I mean, creepy, weird, whatever, she can care less about you, bro. She gonna keep it moving. And then if you're the most beautiful man in the world, you broke, right? It's most women are like, all right, you're cute now, but I'm not taking you out to dinner anymore. I'm not doing this. It takes an amount of game and understanding to even get women to take you out. This whole soft guy era, right? What's it called? Is it the soft guy era?
Soft guy era. That's good. I haven't heard that.
Oh, it's all over YouTube, girl.
Yeah,
it's all over YouTube. Damn. But the soft guy era to me is quiet pimping. You got dudes who are figuring out the game. Right. Like okay, I've managed to get myself into the top 20%. Women are chasing me. I'm gonna make them pay. So these dudes are running female game.
Yeah.
Right. So when I talk about game, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm talking about game, you can substitute the word game with understanding.
Yeah.
To me, game is
social skills, honestly.
Social skills, game, understanding, all that comes into play. It is so many people that I'm noticing out here, you know, in the manosphere, especially, are like, this is the way. It's kind of like religion. You know, you got, you know, Christians, this is the way. Culty. You know, Jews, Muslim, this is the way. And it's like, bro, I mean, there's so many different ways to get there.
Too generalized in the space is what
it's too general. It's too general. And it's people are just looking to hold on to one vessel.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro, you got to build your vessel with all of the good stuff and all of the knowledge you've acquired on your travels and your friends' travels, watching something like this, watching this conversation. Okay. Yeah. Watching this debate. All right, what is it that Tyrone and Torshaa are saying versus what's Uncle Saint saying? But damn, that does make sense. Let me go ahead and try that. Let me go work on it. And to me, when I hear Black Pill are guys who refuse to do the work. You know what I mean?
So that's a misconception. So that's good that you say that, because I think that's what he was getting on. Black Pill, there's the doomers, and that's what we're talking about, the people that give up. But the Black Pill technically is guys who have done all the work. And they're saying, based on my experience, looks matter more. And that when you're in your early 20s, it's stupid to work on game, because you need to work on your looks, fitness. And
let me jump in real quick. In the chat, Brother Doug is saying, this is simply not true. I've known good looking dudes who were bums and always had women.
Yep.
Okay, Brother Doug, did they have women because they were pretty dudes? Or did they have women because they were pretty dudes with game? And how long could they keep those women? That's the key. A woman will keep you around because, you know what I mean, for a hot second. But I've asked so many women this question. I'm like, all right, especially today, women are out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're graduating from colleges, from university, and higher number of men. This is the first time this has happened. They're out earning their male counterparts right now, and that number's going to continue to grow. First time that's ever happened. Yet these women still won't take care of a dude. If you got a woman who's making $300,000 a year, and she's dealing with a guy who's making $100,000 a year, there's a really good chance she's going to leave that guy. The first chance she gets when she can get with a dude who's making $400,000, $500,000 a year. The hypergamous nature of, female dating strategy in today's world is a killer, right? So, and none of it has anything to do with looks. So we're going to pick it up with you, Brother Tyrone. Now you're back.
Wait,
let's talk more about looks.
I think my audio, I can't stop my other StreamYard from dual streaming. Can you hear me any clearer now, or am I still staticky?
It sounds way better now.
Okay, because I'm logged in on another StreamYard, but I think the audio earlier was messed up because I was dual streaming, and I don't. But if I'm fine now, that's good.
You can clear that stream again. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that my other stream is still running. I'll figure that out later. As long as I'm clear to you guys, that's better. As well.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. But the question. I forgot the question that Saint asked.
Let's talk about let's.
Yeah, because I think women. Oh, I'm sorry, Saint. I left the part I left out. Not to cut you off. When I was saying guys that get women are black pilled, the reason I was saying that was because all in my 20s we would make fun of guys who didn't really have good game, but they still had attractive women. But because we're friends with them, at the end of the day, we're still happy for them. It's like, oh, we're just joking with you, teasing, roasting you, but at the end of the day, we're glad you're still getting attractive women, because you're cool, you're our friend, you're our roommate, whatever. But
your static just came back, bro.
Oh, it came.
So, and that's a good point. Like the point that Brother Tyrone was making is like, oh, we noticed that our friends are still getting women, but they don't necessarily have the game. Okay. Another thing that people tend to overlook, and I don't know if it's intentional or whatever, but women have game too, right? Women are running their game, ladies and gentlemen. So like in Brother Tyrone's example, here's this guy who are getting these pretty women and his game sucks. But guess what? While he's out there hunting, women are out there hunting for him. So he's falling for their game, let's say. So again, all of this is all encompassing when it comes to knowledge and understanding. You want to definitely understand what's going on and what you are dealing with. So but go ahead, brother, about with reference to the black pill.
Wait, Dia, I took my headphones off. I'm talking through my laptop mic. Is this any better or no?
Hell yeah, this is the best one yet.
Great.
Because if this is better, because the only reason I use my headphones is because my walls are thin. So I don't, I don't want to disturb.
You're good.
This is good. Okay, good.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's perfect, bro.
Okay, so what was your question again? Now that I'm talking, or now that you can hear me.
Yeah, now that we're squared away, it was your example of, okay, you hanging out with your dudes, they know what they're doing, they're out there womanizing, doing their thing, and then they have a friend who's getting on, but he doesn't have game, but he still manages to get women. And I'm assuming it's because he's a handsome fellow or whatever. But my point was, a lot of people in this space, they forget or they don't realize that women are running game too. So in your situation,
let me clarify. I don't mean game as far as like the guys I'm talking about. These guys are already married. They're in black pill terms. They're Chads. They're Tyrones. They've been married since their 20s. They already pumped and dumped for 10 years. There's no point in stroking their ego another 10 years. It's like they were kind of ready to settle down and have kids and all that. But a lot of those guys, they may have had game the way Lucario defines game, as far as because semantically speaking, I'm only talking about game in the sense of when you first meet a woman and you're managing the attraction and the logistics of that specific situation. That's it. I'm not talking about like long term, or because what Lucario talks about with guys knowing game and game being about your identity as opposed to being about women. I agree with all that stuff philosophically, but I'm specifically talking about quote unquote game when you're meeting a woman. What effect does that have on her choosing you over somebody else when you first meet her?
I have a follow-up question to that might clarify.
But before you go, sis, I see my brother Vikings in the building. I'm sorry, I gotta use my sound effects. I gotta use my sound effects. I see all my people in the building. I see you, brother Viking. I see you, Colonel Sanders. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
No, you're good. You're good. I was like, damn it, I wish I had the horns, and you read my mind. That's funny.
No, we're not we're not real red pill Viking. The red pill, you can keep it. You can keep the red pill. I'm fine being. I don't even need a pill to be honest.
Follow-up
I'm
question
good.
that I want you both to answer. If we had a man who couldn't speak but was really hot compared to a guy that was like average but could talk, who would win in terms of picking up women? The guy that can't talk but he's hot, or the guy that is mediocre but he can talk? Game.
We're talking game, right? When you say he can't talk, we're talking about a guy who's handsome with no game at all versus a guy who's
I'm talking he can't even speak.
What's the point of that argument? That's an easy.
Well,
the guy,
because
the average looking guy.
Hold on. If you say that looks trump game first.
Remember, I'm not a typical black pillar. The black pill for me, it's not about looks. It's about overall attraction. It's never about one specific factor.
So let me have a run at that. Real quick, Torshaa.
Because again, the black pill genetic determinism doesn't just affect your looks. The fact some of these guys that are average looking, the reason they're incels or whatever in the first place, it's not because of their looks. It's because of the other factors that are partially genetic, partially environment, whatever, partially female autonomy, partially their standards rising because of social media and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of factors at play, but that's all black pill. That's all. Like, it's not just look. That's my thing. My argument is, let's say personality matters, right? Because I'm a big believer in compatibility, chemistry, personality, finding quirks that you find endearing in certain partners that make them, it's easy for them to recognize why they would partner up with you. A lot of that is black pill. Even the pheromones, when women, some of my ex-girlfriends, even when we didn't get out of the shower and we like, I went over her dorm. She had practice early or whatever. And I'm like, okay, do you want to take a shower before sex or whatever? They don't even care. They're like, oh, I love your body odor so much. We don't even got to take a shower. That's pheromones. That's I can't control that. That has nothing to do with my game. That has nothing to do with my charisma or charm or anything, which I think that exists. But again, that's not under my control.
But Red Pill says that too. That's been a thing for a long time. Self-improvement. Get your money up, get your body up, all that shit. They talk about
no. But I'm saying the fact that that girl was attracted to my pheromones to the point where every time I interacted with her, even before she was my girlfriend, even when I cold approached her and her white teammate on campus or whatever, that factor was at play the entire time. And that's on top of me being taller than her and me having popular friends in her. There's a bunch of factors of why she dated me for a couple years. But a lot of those factors, they were not under my control. And I don't think there's anything wrong with black pillars being honest and saying, hey, whether I get chicks, whether I get a lot of chicks, whether I'm a virgin, whether I'm somewhere in the middle, a lot of those guys I was talking about earlier, those Tyrones, the ones that were honest with me, when I said, yo, how did you, that girl on campus that was a virgin our whole freshman year, how did you get to smash her when she was a sophomore? What did you say? They'll be like, yo, Stefan, I didn't say anything, bro. She was just feeling me. The mood was right. Her friends introduced me. It was a get together after homecoming. That was it. I didn't really do much. And I've had roommates, and I would see them bring home girls every weekend. I literally had a roommate complain because one semester for one weekend after a party, he didn't bring a girl back home. And he was complaining because some of our other roommates that were like average looking, they got girls that weekend. And the real, Tyrone dude that had all these muscles, he was like, Stefan, I have a girl in a week. The Asian chick I was hooking up with, she's mad at me because she knows I'm talking to other chicks. And I'm like, bro, you're complaining because a girl that you talk to is mad that you're talking to other girls. And you went 1 week without smashing a chick and you're complaining.
Okay.
These are the type of guy when black pillars are friends with those guys in real life, there's nothing more blackpilling than that, because you don't need to read a study to tell you that, wait a minute, my lazy roommate that has average game at best and is the brokest roommate. Some of my other friends have already graduated, have 6-figure jobs, and they have less than 10% of his success. So if it's not game, then what else is it? So I don't think there's anything wrong with some black pillars being honest and saying, hey, even if I do get success, it wasn't all just me. It wasn't me pulling myself up by my bootstraps. It was me finding a woman that was already genuinely into me, not just sexually, but overall, we were compatible. That's it.
All right.
Okay,
So
I can take some credit for it. You know, I self-improved. I'm lean. I look good when I take my shirt
let him
off.
answer.
I have
2
a
minutes
six-pack.
only.
I have a 6-pack when I'm lean. I ran track when I was in high school. So yes,
Tyrone.
when I was younger, that's great. They had some eye candy when I was
Tyrone.
lean. But I can't take credit for everything. I'm sorry, you can go.
Is my mic off?
no.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I'm about
I was like,
to
I don't know
whoop
if he can hear
your
you.
ass.
I'm sorry.
This is my show.
No,
You
I'm-
be
I'm-
very
I'm work-
careful if you're gonna ignore me. You're unhinged
no.
and I'm unhinged. Okay, 2 minutes for everybody to talk, because Tyrone, you fucking drag on. Okay.
No, Torshaa,
Yeah.
I'm turning off my other monitor because I have 2
No,
monitors.
you're fine. Don't
I'm
worry
sorry.
about that shit. I'm just
yeah.
saying that you're talking a long time and we're missing the plot, and then he has to answer something that's irrelevant.
Oh no, it's DL's world. You go.
So all right. I wanted to go back to the original question that Torshaa asked. You got that scenario where you have a very handsome man who can't speak versus an average looking man who has game. Let's say his game is above average, right? And Torshaa, you wanted to know which guy would do better.
Did she mean speak literally, like he has a handicap, right?
He has a handicap. He can't talk. So, and Torshaa was like, so who would do better in that situation? Well, if the guy who is mute has game, if he has understanding, he is going to slay 90% of the women he come after, because he's mute and he knows how to use that. Now, everything you were saying, brother, I'm not pushing back on most of it. I got some pushback for some of it. When you with respect to your friends, well, in the stories, like, here are these guys, these average dudes, and these women are coming at them, and you're saying the women just want them via pheromones, via whatever. My point is this: even in those situations, right? You're talking about a college situation. There's always been more women in university than men. For you, like, even for me, there was, like, when I was in college.
Well, a lot of this is from my 20s after we dropped out, though. So it's not all.
I'm with you, but hear my point out. There are more women on campus, generally speaking, than men, right? And the women on campus understand that the top tier guys are running through them. They know it. The girls are talking. They know what time it is. So these women that want a boyfriend, they want someone they can spoon with and cuddle up with, their game, they become true hunters. They're the apex hunters now. And who are they hunting? They're working their way down the scale. All right, I can't get the top 20 guys, so let me get the top of the bottom 80 guys. This dude over here, you know what I mean? He's, like you said, he's lean, he's in shape, he runs cross country, he's in my whatever class, you know what I mean? He's in my underwater basket weaving class, right? Right? He's in there, and the guy in there, he's trying to run his game, but it's like a game on training wheels. He's awkward. He still hasn't figured out how to approach. He doesn't know any signals, like he doesn't get it when she's digging him or whatever, but he seems to be successful. That's not his game. So that's not him winning. That's her winning. That's her, right? So he'll get on with her, and he'll stop working on his game because he's just like, well, shit, bro, it just comes to me because of Evo Psych, because of this, because of that, and a lot of the stuff that you mentioned, right, which plays a role in it. But as soon as that dynamic changes, we're out of college now. He's back into a huge disadvantage, because he did not work on his game. You mentioned Lucario. What Lucario and Miles do, bro, that's some top tier shit. Like, I'm good at what I do, but I don't hold a torch to them brothers because they're on like another level with this shit. That's what they focus on, and they can help men improve, right? But you don't have to be at that level. It goes back to people choosing their vessels. So again, and this all comes back to the looks. The looks are cool. The looks might get you in the door, but what keeps you there? What's going to help you smash? What's going to help you get your rotation? It's your game. And I'll say this, and then I'll turn it over to you. A lot of dudes who struggle out here, and the reason that they're struggling is because they never sat down and asked themselves what they want. You got guys over here coming to people like me. Hey, Uncle Saint, man, because we all do the coaching stuff. Everyone does different versions of it. I don't do, online stuff. I don't do phone calls. I don't do Zoom calls. You got to come see me. Like, bro, we got to go out into the real world, man. I'm taking you into the trenches. You know what I mean? This is hands-on, right? The first thing I ask these guys is, man, what are you looking for? Do you just want to smash chicks and run a rotation, or are you looking for your wife? What are you looking for? Because the answer determines how we train. And that's one of those things. Women are out there running their game. They don't have to train us hard, right? All they got to do is be beautiful, fit, friendly, feminine shit. They gonna get on. You know what I mean? So this is another thing that dudes they're struggling with, because they're not being honest with themselves, or they haven't even thought about it. But game is critical. And again, people, when I say game, I'm talking about understanding. It's not about, I got game. I can go out here. I got 100 bodies, 1,000 bodies. People talking about fresh. Do you believe he's slept with 1,000 girls? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? I've been in the trenches with that guy. I don't know if he slept with 1,000 girls. I don't care. But when we're
he may have bought 1,000 chicks. He may have bought 1,000 girls.
Even if here's the thing. Who gives a fuck? I tell you this. I'll go to any club.
That's the difference between me and Fresh. If I bought 1,000 chicks, I would be honest with it. I'll be like, I smashed 52 chicks without money. Now I'm rich. I'm about to turn 36. You know what? I'm about to buy 1,000 chicks. I already proved myself. I don't need to prove myself to y'all. I could buy all I want. But Fresh tries to pass it off as game and receipts, just like QB passport flexing, smashing below average Latinas in another country, because he has to compete with 5'2" Mexican guys, because he couldn't compete with 5'10" guys in America, and he thinks he's a Tyrone light and can get more attractive women than Austin Dunham. So I call cap.
Now hold on. Now
whether you're black pill or red pill, I call cap on all of you guys. I don't care if you're red pill.
And I want to.
I'm sorry.
Let me finish the thought, brother. Let me finish the thought. And I'm not trying to turn this into a debate over Fresh. Let me finish the thought. I'm not trying to turn this into a debate whether some man slept with 1,000 women, and I'm not trying to change that to that debate.
Oh yeah, I know it was a side. You were bringing it up in passing.
The point I'm making is, right? I've been in the trenches with Walter. I've been in those clubs in Miami with Walter. I've been in Texas with the guy. The man has game. His game is verified. If he's buying them, I didn't see it, right? And there are dudes out there. And again, I don't care how many bodies he may or may not have. The fact remains, his game.
Yeah, the number doesn't. We agree on that.
His game is
quality over quantity all day.
And his game is effective. He has game. Not the most handsome dude. You know what I mean? I met him before they had the major success with Fresh and Fit, right? But he's in a city where you don't need top tier game to get on with bad women. Miami got a bunch of beautiful women down there, especially if you're into Latinos. But there are Russians down there, there are Haitians down there, right? There are Dominicans down there. The list goes on and on and on and on. Everything's down there. And all you got to do is have the ability to hold a conversation, make a woman laugh, don't put your foot in your mouth, and you're going to be successful, especially if your strategy is to just have sex. If your strategy is to find a wife, you can still do good in South Florida. You can do good in Dade and Broward County, right? Just stay away from, South Beach, Wynwood, Brickell. There are plenty of women down there. That's a very family-oriented area. But these guys get locked in. Well, Lucario said I got to do this, or I read Mystery Method and I got to go neg women, or they're so lost because they don't know what problem they're actually solving for, right? And they don't have their emotions in check. So when it comes to looks, my position on looks is it's not that important, right? If you look like Idris Elba, great. You're in shape, you look good, amazing. But if you broke and you're working at McDonald's dropping fries, you're not going to be as successful as if you were making, millions of dollars a year. That's my point. I really don't put that much weight on the looks. And then the black pill part of it is your version of black pill varies wildly from what I've been seeing. So, and I'm curious how the chat feels about that. Like, because now I'm like, okay, what is black pill? We're back to that question.
Yeah, well, real quick, I think nobody's going to disagree about a normie average guy, slightly below or whatever average, that gets millions is going to be more successful. But I think Black Pillars is saying realistically, most guys, they're not going to get to that point. They're going to make their 80,000 or 110,000, or they're going to have their lower middle class life or their middle class life or whatever. For the most part,
let's drill down on that. So we were
just talking about in that realm, it doesn't make a difference, because I've even heard you and Lucario say that. I'm not saying y'all are millionaires, but I know you guys, or I mean, I like your channel. I think it's newer. I know Lucario's been on YouTube forever, and he's finally starting to get. So I'm actually happy he's getting his flowers and all that. But so I'm happy he's getting his money and getting more views and all that. But I just want to say, I've heard you and Lucario both say when y'all were broke, y'all had more success than when y'all had money. And that y'all are not the only people I know. So of course I know guys from college that got girls before and after the money. It didn't matter. They're gonna get girls. Some dudes, it don't really matter. They're gonna get girls regardless. But I think the Black Pillars are saying, yes, I agree. If I get millions, of course I'm gonna get more success. But absent that, I don't think me being an average looking guy going from making 50,000 to 100,000 in this current dating market is going to move the needle. It might get me some more foodie dates. But again, DL Saint, when I was in college, or when I dropped out, but I was smashing a chick in college. Now I was single at the time, so I wasn't cheating. I was smashing a chick because I went to one of the top schools on one of the sugar baby sites back in the late 2000s. So a lot of chicks I ran into would literally be sugar babies, and I didn't even know it at the time. But one of them, she could have been if she wanted, but she wasn't really attracted to the dude. And she was volunteering at some place, and some rich white dude, nice car, whatever, took her out, courted her, quote unquote. On her literal Instagram stories, I would see her in his Porsche or Ferrari or whatever sports car it was. But when she would go back to her campus apartment, when I would get home from a party, she would text me, or I would text her, or you know what I mean? I would see what she was doing. If she was on campus or if she was coming home from a date, after my friends got home from the party, I would go chill with her and smash and spend the night or spend the weekend. I might go back on Saturday night and spend the whole weekend.
Right. That's normal.
So in that case, I'm literally, that sugar daddy did everything right. He built up his money. He was more cultured than me, more knowledgeable. He had a sports car. I would see on her Instagram where the restaurants in Philly he would take her to, all the working professionals and upper class, rich suburban people, all the restaurants they go to, he would take her to. But she's smashing a broke 25-year-old dropout just because I'm in the same social circle. And I'm digging her down every night, and he only got a make out. He never even smashed. At least if he smashed, I could be like, all right, you paid for it, but you smashed. He only got a make out. I'm like, bro,
let's talk about where we're wrong.
Money doesn't build attraction. Let's say it does.
Right. Well, again, it's a qualifier. Let's talk about where dude went wrong. Right. Dude was out there in Brother Tyrone Church. I like his chat in there. He's like, I'm gonna be honest, everyone can't be winners. And we're talking about a guy who is making money who actually lost. He's not winning right now. So here's the thing. Let's talk about where it went wrong. All that money that dude was making, he's out there working on his social game with his people. He's building up the right circle. He's climbing the ladder. He's making money. He's doing his thing, whatever that means, right? He's working. He sees this girl. She's running her game. She's trying to get to the bag. She's trying to get to the next level. She wants to get into those circles as well, right? Okay, she doesn't want to necessarily smash him. Why? Because maybe he's boring, right? That's the cardinal sin of all women. Don't be boring, bro. Yeah, he got the Porsche. Yeah, he can take you to the finest restaurant in town. Yeah, he can fly you to whatever to, accompany him when he goes to a business meeting. And he's looking at her like, I want to marry her. He has no idea what she's doing in the streets. Why? Because he didn't put any time into the game, into the understanding of how it is today, or at that point, how it was in that time. The dating landscape is constantly changing. And if he was gamed up, he would have at a minimum smashed, right? What's the number one tenet for dudes with game or out here trying to, out here womanizing, right? The 3-day rule. At least that's my rule. I don't know if y'all still running that, but we've been running this since the 80s.
Well, I think if he was
3
black
days or 3
pill, he
days.
would have gave up. He would have been like, all right, she's not attracted to me. I'm gonna just cut my loss and move on to the next one.
And I think that's a problem with Black Pill. But also, I would say if he had the game, if he ran any type of basic game, he would have stopped dealing with her after the first 3 encounters. The 3 days or 3 days. If he ain't smashing,
no, I agree. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's where he lost, right? So to me, the Black Pill, like you said, the Black Pill is like, well, I'm just gonna give up. There's nothing I can do. I'm making the money, or I'm not making the money. I have the looks, or I don't have the looks. Do you see how it just becomes just the fetus mentality?
No, but I meant with that. I meant only with that specific chick. If he was Black Pill aware, he would have noticed, like, okay, I'm rich, whatever. I got options. There's this black sugar baby chick that's not really into me, but let me go get one of these Asian chicks at the same college that are going to worship me like a god because I'm white and I got money. He would have been more aware of his natural dating pool, and instead of chasing this specific, and again, she wasn't even a sugar baby. She turned him down.
Yeah, I think
she really wanted.
Pill,
she could have milked him for money.
I
but
think
she
it's
was
more
like
red pill
honest with him, but he would still take her out as a friend and wine her and dine her as a friend.
Okay, I think it's more. It's not. This is where I disagree with you. Completely.
I only bring him up because she was genuinely not attracted to him.
No. I get it. This is a great example. This is a great example, bro.
I think game works if she's already mildly attracted to you. If you're a maybe, if you're not, and this goes for both genders. If a fat woman that's not, I don't like her phenotype. I don't like anything, her body type, her face, her bone structure. I don't like anything about her. I do not care what her personality is like. My options are not that low where I have to settle for someone where I cannot find any positive or endearing or attractive feature about them. And I'm just going to be like, oh, well, I'll just take anything. She's 400 pounds. Even though I myself, I'm 5'11", barefoot, and I'm in shape, but I'm going to settle for a land. What? You got to be kidding me. That's why even though I have success with women, I relate to the doomers and I empathize with them because I see just because the women, they may smash me or they may smash my friends or my roommates or my acquaintances, I still see how those women treat other unattractive men. And it's not always based on their social skills. Sometimes these guys are more extroverted than me, more popular than me, have more female friends than me, are more articulate than me, more accomplished than me. And I can verify this because they're in my social circle. And yet me, even though I have a mood disorder and I was a dropout. Now, yes, I did have good jobs after that because I'm super smart, but I was broke in my 20s and I still smash hotter women in my 20s than I do now a lot of the time. So
of course you did. So let's stay on mission.
You guys are sweeping under the rug, or maybe not you specifically, but the dating coaches that make money off of this stuff. They're trying to paint the picture that none of the looks, none of the factors that you can't control are at play, and it's 100% malleable, and it doesn't matter what your starting point is or what card you were dealt. You can game your way out of the situation. You can alpha your way out of it. You can manipulate. And again, I love Lucario. I think strategy is important. Like you say, if the guy was gamed up, he wouldn't have been used in the first place. But if he was listening to me, he would have admitted to himself, like, hey, I'm a rich, older white guy with all this money, but maybe this specific black younger chick doesn't like me. Maybe I have to settle for an average looking Eastern Asian woman. Or maybe I can get a Middle East. Maybe I can get a Pakistani woman that's like, look, I'm a normie black dude and I smashed a hot Pakistani chick. So I'm sure a white guy that's worth millions can smash a bad
brother Tyrone. Here's the thing.
Dudes got to keep it real with themselves. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to be a doomer. Just be honest with yourself. Just like you need passport. If you got to go across the world,
bro, you gotta let me talk. Hold on. Stop. You gotta let me talk. You gotta let me because we have some good points there that we ran by real quick. So the reason I don't agree with you, so I'm so adamant about this, is even with what you're saying, the black pill does lend itself towards quitting. Right? It's like I'm going to give up on what I want.
No, not all of it. I think doomers are in the minority. I think the majority of black pillars, they're average looking guys. The majority, honestly, the majority, even literally, if you go on YouTube and you look at some actual like doomers that are like handicapped or have like a mental illness, a lot of them complain about these average normie dudes that start up these YouTube channels, and they complain and they're looking at him like, wait a minute, I'm actually deformed in the face and I have a legitimate gripe. And you got this average looking tall guy complaining. So I would say there's a majority of normies in the black pill. Doomers are the minority, if anything, to be honest.
Let me stop you. But do you hear, it's like echoes of, I'm not succeeding and this is why, but you are better than me. And that, I'm saying push all that to the side. To me, the red pill is simply, you can see the code for what it is. Just like Neo saw the code at the end of the Matrix, right? You can actually see the code if you're true red pill. And the code, and again, we're still talking about this instance where you had this man with money trying to get this woman who was running her game. She was getting to the money, getting to the success. She was getting everything
Red
from
Pill
him.
led him to his demise because Red Pill taught him that money could fit, money, status, and masculinity could fix what he didn't have through looks or charisma or natural attraction and chemistry.
I wouldn't put that on red pill. I wouldn't put that on red pill. I would say that's more the narrative for our society. That's more the narrative. I got the money, I got the height, I won, like we went state in high school basketball or football or whatever, and she's gonna love me.
Well, height is technically black pill, but everybody has to agree with that because it's so objective that even a blue pillar will agree with height because it's so there's no intangible to it. There's no debate. It's like you can literally measure it. I can literally walk out of my house right now and see a bunch of tall like dudes with women. It's not like it's right. Even though yes, there are tall incels. I get it, but
let's stay on message though. Let's stay on message. The fact that the money, the height, the looks on their own, right? If black pillars were right, then on their own, all those dudes would be successful no matter what. The fact that these dudes, the tall dudes, the guys with money, the guys with clout, the guys with fame or whatever, they're still failing. Why?
No, but that's black pill. A lot of those guys, they don't have the black pill components to win. They were taught by the red pill that if I get my money up, my status up, my game up, I can compensate for a lack of looks, genetics.
That's the Disney narrative, bro. That's the Disney fairy tale. If I become no, that's Disney. That's mainstream.
Jonah Hill, a celebrity that you guys love bringing up, Jonah Hill, and I know he worked out and he got leaner or whatever. I went through his dating history. I've literally dated better looking women than Jonah Hill. Even if I only dated non-black women, I would still date better women than Jonah Hill.
You're missing the point, brother. You're missing the point.
I've seen a lot of chicks he messed with. They're mid-tier Becky's the best. I'm just saying the red pill copes got to stop at some point. We got to be honest.
Here's the thing.
I would rather people be honest. I love a mid-tier Becky. I would date a mid-tier Becky. The last white girl I matched with on Tinder was a mid-tier Becky. She was attractive to me. I don't care.
Stay with me, brother. Stay with me, brother. Give me 30 seconds. Stay with me, brother. Stay with me. Stay with me for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Stay with me for 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds. Jonah Hill, these guys with money. They want to be Prince Charming. Prince Charming is the mainstream narrative. That is the Disney fairy tale, right? Prince Charming is the nice guy. And we all know nice guys finish where? Last. So when we're talking about this, that's not necessarily the red pill narrative, in my opinion.
Well, that's blue pill, but I'm saying the rich part.
But okay, a few more seconds. Let me
Myron and Fresh, Indian PE buying sugar babies, that's red pill. That's money.
Listen.
They're leading with money and status. There's no charisma. That's not look. That's not charisma. That's not personality. That's dark triad manipulation.
Tyrone.
That's sugar daddy dating. That's salt daddy dating.
You're losing the plot. You're losing the plot. Let him finish because you've talked a lot, but he's not able to get his point.
Oh, my bad. I'm gonna let you cook, Dio. My bad. I'm gonna let you cook. My bad. I'm gonna mute up. My bad.
So my point is this. Most men in America buy into the Disney fairy tale. Now, you know what? Fuck that. All men in America We're programmed to buy into the Disney fairy tale. Every single last one of us. All of us want to be Prince Charming. We want to ride up on our horse in our shining armor, slay the dragon, and save the princess. That's the way we were fucking raised, right? I think we're just now getting to the first generations where the red pill ideology is starting to hit. It don't work that way, right? We don't learn until later in life that good guys finish last. By the time we hit high school, we start to figure it out. If you go to college or, once you start getting to your young 20s, by the time you reach your late 30s, your late 20s, you're like, oh shit. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put a little bad boy in my step if I'm trying to get hurt, because the good guy shit don't work. That's the red pill narrative. You're talking about Myron and Fresh. I don't want to turn this into, full disclosure. I am personal friends with Myron and Fresh. I know these guys. We kick it, we break bread. So I like to shy away from the conversations, but I have to say this point. I have to make this point.
Oh yeah, I could bring up other examples too. I can
but I get you.
I know you're cool with them, so I don't want to. Yeah, that
that's not a bad. I mean, it's cool, but they understand. They get it. Trust me, they get it. I just like to give full disclosure because people will find the pictures and they're like, "Oh shit, Saint, fuck with these dudes." But my point is this: before the mega success, these guys were running their game. Myron runs his game. Fresh runs his game. Fresh was selling dreams, and Myron is being hardcore. Myron was doing that Punisher shit long before they turned on the camera. Right. And it worked for both of them. A lot of that has to do with where they are, being in Miami. Right. They have game. They are 100% red pill in the sense that they are aware of what type of game it takes to get the woman that they want. Does that mean that they're not susceptible to their emotions? Absolutely not. Right. This latest thing with Fresh. I haven't talked to Fresh about it yet. I haven't seen him. Next time I go to Miami, I'm going to talk to him about it. I believe that he fell for Shorty. I believe that she was the prototype. She was what he wanted. And then he found out.
Oh yeah, no, I think she's his type, and maybe I know a lot of black pillars are going to kill me for this, but I think she's attractive to me. She looks good. She's sexy to me. I don't know.
Right? She's not my style, but shit, she's fine. She's fine. Even
with she's not even my personal taste per se. People know I like more. I'm more whatever.
All those dudes say she's weird or whatever. No, Shorty's fine.
She's sexy to me. Whatever. But you go.
And she was running her game, right? That whole thing with Fresh and Daisy, she was running her game. He was running his game. That was a heavyweight bout. I was sitting back with my popcorn watching. I was like, yeah, Fresh getting her ass, right? He was beating the shit out of her with the first, 8 rounds of a 10-round fight. But now she came back hard. She came back, dropped the fucking, she went full-blown kamikaze, did what she did. I'm pregnant. Oh, shit. I'm going to run you through the mud. Like, we fresh and fit, baby. We stay in the mud. She didn't understand that part. But that was just two people running their game. Folks didn't want to talk about her side of that. And I respect her game. That you got to look out for women like that. That's the red pill. And when women like that win, I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad. It's just like you. She's a Jedi too, goddammit. The Sith they got masters just like the Jedi got masters. Sit your ass down at the table with the masters. She a goddamn grandmaster. She was running her shit. She got dudes sending her $80,000, bro. You know what I mean? Like she's getting money. I gotta respect that game, but it is game nonetheless. And this is what I talk about all the time. It is not the Disney fairy tale. It is not the blue pill mainstream narrative. Right? It certainly isn't the black pill. It certainly isn't the black pill narrative in my opinion.
And it's certainly not the red pill narrative either.
The reason I like the red pill, but understand, because like your version of the black pill is different than what the rest of them I think are, and my version of the red pill I think is a little bit different as well. My thing is awareness. You see the code, and that's all I'm saying with red pill. Red pillers go out here and get their face cracked all the time. I got my face cracked. Trust me, I'm gonna probably get my face cracked again. If you get out there, you're gonna get hurt, even with your knowledge. Someone like Lucario and Miles, it's gonna be harder for them to lose because they stand on their game 100. Lucario and Miles are at a level of game that's approaching being a fucking pimp. Like, and that's the top.
Lucario's he's not dating younger, super attractive women, so it's like he's playing with house money anyway.
But he can, and that's another thing too. Like you can.
No, I'm saying he can and he should. He should.
He does. He does. Wherever he travels, he does his thing. So, but because, my whole point,
I want to give him his credit because I've debated him in the past, but I have agreed with him in the past. I've called in on his show multiple times. I haven't always disagreed. So whatever. I will give him his credit because he doesn't brag about pulling super hot women. So again, my criticisms about QB or other certain black or red pillars, I wouldn't put them against Lucario because even if I disagree about some of the game concepts, I can give him credit because he's not out here bragging about pulling a hot Stacy that's 30 years old. He's admittedly dating women in his age bracket that are late 30s, early 40s. I'm 35. My ex she's about to turn 28. She's 27 now, about to turn 28. So if I really wanted to, yeah, I could date some mid 30s chicks and late 30s chicks and single moms. I could really have my way and be their best option. But I don't mind dating chicks that are younger, that are late 20s, mid late 20s, whatever. But I'm still young enough to do that. So I'm still. I want to go out and tell every.
You could be 60 years old and still be messing with some young chicks, depending on what you look like, bro. I mean, that's when the looks start to come into, play a little bit more, right? If you keep your shit together, you can still, if you want to mess with a young girl, I can't.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I want to just preface that I agree with you only if you're talking about guys that you're either guys like yourself or silver foxes or whatever exceptions to the rule. Because I'm 35 and my last 5-10 years work in the workforce at different jobs. Most dudes I know, they were below average before 30. Like the age pill, the wall, it hit most men I know way earlier than it hit women. So you and guys that you know of in your real life, or guys that kind of think like you and have their shit together across the board, I know those guys. Like, my superiors at certain jobs, I would see like, okay, this dude 10 years older than me, he got a hot ass wife. I get it. But the other 20, 50 guys in their age bracket are in a dead bedroom marriage, or they're, a loser with no social circle, or they're watching Wheat Waffles videos, or they're watching some red pill video, hoping they can self-improve their way out of it. And then they're gaslighted gaslit. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm low IQ. I apologize. When they're gaslit by dating coaches after they try their advice and they do 6,000 approaches in a year in Las Vegas, and they only smashed 2 women out of 6,000, and one of them they had to pay for, and they come back to a dating coach like, hey, I approached 6,000 women, and now I'm a doomer because I smashed 2 women, but I got rejected 5,998 times. I just think at some point we got to admit the game, as much as you know about female nature and as much as you know your identity and your self-realized, there's always going to be a cap. Like even me, I've dated some chicks that were quote unquote a 7, a couple ones, but I can't. There are other women on that level that aren't attracted to me for whatever reason. And a lot of it's not looks, a lot of it's personality. And a lot of that's based on genetics, which again comes back to the black pill. So that's my point. The easiest I can put it is looks plus. Black pill is not looks. It's looks plus everything a woman could possibly disqualify you for. And a lot of those categories, they come back to the black pill. Because even if it's not 100% genetic, a lot of it's 50% or 70% genetic, or 50% genetic and 20% environmental. And by the time you're a 25-year-old virgin and you're decades past your formative years, you can go ahead and watch Lucario all you want. But when you're 30, that 25-year-old chick that you want to date, she would rather date me because I'm more neurotypical. So and I probably look a little better, and I'm a little taller. So all that 5 years of self-improvement didn't help. And then guys like you and Lucario are going to gaslight them again and say, well, you just need to self-improve. And when you're 35, you'll hit your real prime because men age like fine wine. And then you'll get the same attractive young women that Tyrone used to date, the same mid-tier Beckys that I used to date. Now you can have because you're a 35-year-old with money.
Okay, I gotta jump in. I gotta jump in. If I gotta do it this way, if I don't do it, you won't stop. I gotta jump in. So here's the thing. Like you said a lot of things. All right. So here's the deal. That guy that paid a coach to go out to Vegas and talk to 60 women, and he only smashed 2. Or I'm sorry, 6,000.
Oh, my bad. That wasn't a student. That was an actual dating coach himself. That was Alex PWF's main business partner, Indian Pie Man. who admitted that out of his own mouth on stream. He approached 6,000 women in a year, only smashed 2 of them. So I'm not.
Right.
If you go to my channel, it's the first video at the top of the channel. When you
I'm not disputing it, not even pushing back. My point is this: most men, that guy was failing, but he just kept going. Most men who fail, right? And again, this is red pill stuff. Most men who fail, they fail because of the way that they train. They fail because they're not addressing some issues that's going on out there, right? That's a high fucking number, man. 6,000 chicks, you only smash 2. Is your mission to smash? Most of the guys who fall into the manosphere, falling down the red pill, rabbit hole, black pill, whatever pill, what are they trying to do? They're trying to get a woman that they already lost, or they're trying to get women to see them. Yeah, normally one of the two. They don't follow every prescribed, measure that they come across. Even when they paying these coaches to give them stuff, they don't do everything. They do what most people do. They skip over the hard stuff and they do the easy stuff. And then they start to get a little bit of success with the easy stuff. But because they skipped over the hard stuff, the success is fleeting. Right. So
what's the hard stuff, just for clarification? Just because I don't.
It depends on the individual, but like the hard stuff might be some guy who refuses to go out and just talk to people. Right. The hard work might be, hey, bro, get your social game up, man. Like you're fucking up, homie. You need to get out here and get your social game up. Some guys don't want to take a shower before they go out on a date. Some dudes don't want to wash their butt. I ain't never been washing my butt. Why I gotta wash my butt now? Because you stink, man. The girls don't like that, right? That's just an example. You have guys out there they can't get over that fear of approach. You're gonna have to get over it somehow. That's the hard stuff. They'll skip to the easy stuff. Ooh, I could go out here and just nag, or I could go out here and improve my social circle, or I could go out here and do this. So they skip over the stuff that's needed to retain that relationship with a woman once they get in. Right. So a lot of that, again, I put it on the guys. It is difficult to talk to women. I give you that. Right. But it ain't impossible. You're talking about like smashing whatever. Dude, in my life, bro, I smashed everything from 2s to 10s, legit 10s. I'm talking about people, bro. Like I go on their IMDb just so I can look at them every now and then. Like, yeah, I smashed that. You know what I mean? Like it is well.
Yeah,
well,
no, I know. I get it. I know.
But that's all red. That's all red pill.
You probably smashed a lot more women than some of these red pill YouTubers. Possibly. I would put money on it.
But it's all seeing the code. Now, again, part of game is seeing. Let's move away from the women for just a hot second. Part of the game is being able to see the people who are trying to run your pocket, men and women. Right? The batteries that drive our society in America are the bottom 80 men, the invisible men, are the batteries that drives this particular matrix. And it's not just women going after their fucking money. Right? It's not just them. You look at all the dating apps. Who has to pay? And how much are they fucking paying? Women ain't paying for that shit. Like when you go out and kick it in the club, which I don't have a problem with that. But who's paying to get into the club? You know what I mean? Who's buying the bottles? The batteries that drive this particular matrix, our society, are the invisible men, or just men in general. You got to understand that. So if you're going to go out here and I'm going to, I want to get a dating coach. I want to get a dating coach. I don't think Uncle Saint's going to talk to me. Myron's too fucking expensive. Lucario's too far away. I'm just going to go talk to the nearest dude to me. You don't know anything about that guy. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to go over here to the buy here, pay here lot and buy a fucking car from a dude who's going to sell me a piece of shit and take all my money. And that's just the game. You have to have the awareness to avoid that as well. This is my version of the red pill. Yeah, we could talk about how it, affects the sexual marketplace, but it affects your finances. It affects your politics. You know what I mean? It affects your employment. It affects every aspect of your life, right? What is it called? The game of life, right? So everyone focuses on this red pill dating shit. And I ain't mad because, sex is great, man. There's nothing like being with a woman if you're a guy. If you're a heterosexual man, there's nothing like having that woman. Most dudes don't even want to spend places. It's too hard. They're cool with just the one. And they will be monogamous and they will love and put her on a pedestal and all that. But you do that shit at your own risk. If you choose the wrong woman, she'll destroy your fucking life. But if you choose the correct woman, bro, she will 1,000x your life.
Well, that's why I'm not dating Torshaa.
Torshaa gets you in the circles you can't get into, man. Torshaa, what was that dude, the key master in the Matrix? That's Torshaa. She got all the keys. She'll open up all the doors.
You want to be banned from clubs? Don't fucking talk shit about me.
Boy, she ain't fucking around. She the key master. She opened up them doors like she better come on in here. But
I worked in all the cities.
Say all the cities. And brother Michael Burns, I did see your chat, bro. And he was talking about the money. The money with respect to Myron. I can speak on this because I do understand his philosophy better than most. We've had conversations. Myron wants guys to have money so they have the freedom to choose and whatever they want to do. And that's the whole point of.
I'm cool with Myron's. Specifically, I don't know his whole dating history, but with the chick he's dating right now, I'm cool with her. Like Angie, she's.
Well, hold on now. Yeah, I'm about to say which one now. It ain't just Angie. It ain't just her. You know that, right?
Well, no. But I'm saying I don't care about his side chicks and all that. I'm saying the main chick that he publicly is on his platform. Because she was confronted by a whole nother YouTuber. And like they caught her off guard in some street interview video, and they had a camera rolling, but she didn't know it was recording. And she actually held Myron down, and they were trying to get her to like talk down on the red pill, make fun of the red pill. And she didn't know the camera was recording, and she still like stood 10 toes down and was like, yeah, I'm not going to let you insult my boyfriend. My boyfriend's a red pill YouTuber. I'm not going to make this video for content to make fun of it because my boyfriend believes in that, and that's what whatever. So I fuck with Angie. As far as the women's selection, those indictments were specifically at Fresh. I may disagree with Myron as far as philosophy, but in terms of women, Fresh, not just the Asian chick, but Miranda. It's like, bro, and I'm not gonna. I know because you're cool with them. I'm not going to, and I'm not cool with academics either. So you're not off the hook either if you're listening. You fat sub 5. But Miranda was living with Fresh for free for months. She wouldn't even kiss him on camera. All she had to do was walk his dog a few times, and she was living in his place rent free for months in Miami, and she didn't even want to kiss him on camera. So I'm like. And it's not like this Asian chick is an aberration. He has a record of simping and spending money on women who are not genuinely attracted to him. That's it.
Just for the record, brother.
I give Myron his credit because Angie is a solid woman. So I'll give Myron his credit. Yes.
Just for the record, bro. Like what you just said, I don't believe that's true. Again, I'm there. I'm in the mix. Like I know Miranda. There's a lot behind that story that people don't know.
Miranda's sexy too. She look good too. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck. She's sexy. She's sexy.
Yeah, Miranda. I definitely give her a 7, adjustable 7. If we're gonna get, but she gotta keep in mind she's in Miami. Yeah. She's definitely what I would consider like she's like girl next door beauty, like for real. And she like I knew where she worked at the time. I just kind of bumped into her. There's a lot behind that, and
I was following her Instagram when she was in Philly, so.
Yeah,
I was seeing the story she was posting on Instagram, and I was texting one of her friends in Miami, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into that.
But the only point I want to make is I can't speak to Ak. I mean, I met Ak a couple times. I can't speak to how he moves out there. I can speak to Fresh, and I'm here to tell you, bro, I haven't seen the simping thing. I haven't seen it. Now, that doesn't mean he's not doing it, but I'm saying I haven't seen it. I've seen this game. I see how he runs this game. I will tell y'all this. He only because he said this. You got to, he said it on his vlogs. He said it on Fresh and Fit platform. If you see the woman on camera on his vlogs or anything like that, that's not a woman he's really trying to fuck with. That's somebody he's smashing. So keep that in mind. The women that I've seen Fresh with, like Angie is a beautiful woman inside and out. She's so cool. She's not American. She's raised very differently. I see why Myron rocks with her. We had dinner last time I was down there. It was great. All of us had dinner. The women that Fresh brings to those events, y'all never see. I'm just going to put it right there. Y'all never see these women. So the Fresh is doing, like I said, he's running his game, which is very effective for him. He understands what's going on. But even with that, Myron, Fresh, right, you still take a chance at some point, right? It's all good till it ain't. And again, that's all part of the true knowledge, like really understanding game, really having, the red pill hat on. That's why I wore the red hat. Valuetainment, shout out to PBD. But the when you look at the real red pill situation, it's having the knowledge, having the know-how to go ahead and take that chance. No guarantee. No, there are no guarantees. No outcome is guaranteed. Not with Lucario's way of doing it. Not with A Dose of Game. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that YouTube channel. If you really want to know what game looks like, you really want to be on some fly ass player shit, check out A Dose of Game on YouTube. Short videos, short and sweet. That brother will give you some game that'll blow your fucking mind. And everything he says on that, I'm like, yep, I can see it. That dude was brought up by players, real G's. So that's that level of game. But for the average guy, you just need understanding. The black pill stuff seems to me, now correct me if I'm wrong, chat, and everyone else out there, it seems to me that the black pill side is just like, I give up. Am I wrong in thinking that?
Well, that's only the doomers specifically. But
even you were saying that it sounds like, well, I'm just going to give up on the woman I want. Going back to that example with the guy who had money, he's like, well, I'm going to give up on her and I'm going to go over here.
No. I brought up that because that woman was specifically not attracted to him. And I'm only saying that because not only was I watching her Instagram stories and seeing what she was telling me, but I was literally smashing her, and he literally, like, it'd be one thing if, like, you meet a woman in a club and she mildly attracted, you get her number, but she wasn't really giving you crazy choosing signals.
Okay, so I'm not saying it just her number. Stick with this example. I like this. Why are you getting her number? You're in the club, you get a woman's number. Why are you getting her number in this scenario? We just make this up as we go.
In my case, this is I'm gonna give you my, because again.
Let's run a scenario. I'm just curious.
I'm not just drawing from recent stuff. I'm drawing in my 20s. I was black pill before I knew I was black pill. So if I get a number in a club, right, and a chick is medium interest, quote unquote, if I get a number, I'm not going to give up. To me, that's a woman that's genuinely attracted, but it's not so intense to the point where I'm a smash without doing any work. But the fact that it's medium, for me personally, that's enough. That's reasonable. I'm like, okay, it's just like if a chick approaches me and I consider her like a 5.5, and she's not really the type I typically go for. But I'm like, yo, she's friends with some girls that go to my school. She a 5 or some grad school chick. She's friends with chicks I went to school with in the past. I love her personality and our chemistry, like we vibe. I can talk to her effortlessly. So you know what? I'm gonna give her a chance. I look at the same way. I look at women the same way. So if they see me as that option, I'm not gonna immediately give up. But that's only because I know I met that minimum threshold of where I'm an actual dating option. I'm not like,
let's go back to the
rich, ugly guy that I want to use for money.
Let's go back to the type of scenario. You meet a girl you're in the club, you're younger, you're in a club, you meet a girl, you get her number. So answer me the question, why did you get her number? What is your intention?
Because I want to smash.
All right, because you want to smash.
In most cases.
See, almost.
I do have some female friends. I do have, whatever.
But 99% of the time, even with my female friends, all my female friends that I met, I was trying to smash from when I met. You know what I mean? So you're trying to
I'm honest with them. Like the female friends that I want to smash, I tell them up front, because if we're going to be friends, I don't want to be friends on some like questionable where they don't know where we stand. All my women up front, the female friends I have that aren't an option, they know what it is. And the ones I have,
tell all women up front. That's red pill. That's true knowledge. Tell all women up front. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not trying to be in the friend zone.
Oh, but that's black pill. No, that's black pill as well.
How's that black pill, brother?
No, because if I'm aware of myself, not looks wise, but if I'm aware of my entire personality, mood, temperament, my tendencies, my values, my philosophies, that's going to affect which women I select for. So it could be there are literally beautiful black women I know, make more money than me, low body count, beautiful, come from a good family, everything. The only reason I'm not dating them is because I'm agnostic and they're devout Christians, and one of them was like a Muslim or whatever. So even though I come from a religious family, I'm agnostic, and I wasn't willing to lie to those women and pretend to be religious when I'm not, just to smash. Even though looks wise, we were attracted to each other. We both came from good families, yada, 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 where we have chemistry. That one category disqualified them. So the black pill allows me to accept that up front and not try to force it.
It sounds to me that you're calling it. Hold on. It sounds to me that you're equating black pill with just knowledge and or wisdom. So I'm calling it game. You're calling it black pill. So you get the girl's number because you want to smash, right? That's what everyone does. And now we're saying, hey, and then you're saying, hey, you take it the step further. You're not going to try to run let me be your friend and try to smash through that way. You tell them up front, I want to holler at you, or
it depends. It depends. It depends on how I read it.
Okay, I tell them up front. When I'm talking
I'm telling them up front regardless, but I'm saying
okay, so all right, so you want to smash, you're being honest up front. Right? How much time do you give her to let you smash?
And it's the club example, right? That's where I met her.
You just met her at the club. She gave you your number, right? This is before social media, it's before Instagram and all that. She gave you the number. You want to smash. How much time are you going to spend pursuing? I call it Foxy Brown. I hate the term box. I call it Foxy Brown.
The Foxy Brown. I like that. I like that.
How much time you going to spend pursuing the Foxy Brown?
The time on pursuing depends. Because I could meet a chick, but if she go to a school across town or in a different state, I might not see her soon, whatever. But as far as actually smashing, in my experience, every chick that I've dated that was a girlfriend or that was a friends with benefits or something like that, I've usually smashed on the second night.
All right, 3-day rule.
Average.
3-day rule. So
sometimes I smash on the first date. Sometimes it was on the third date, but like the median and the average is around the second night. Usually it was the second hook or the second meeting or whatever.
Perfect. We're all right. Yeah. So 3-day rule, right? So you meet a girl in the club, you're attracted to her, you want to smash, you go holler at her. Obviously, you got some sort of game that interests her enough, so she gave you her number. It could be like you were saying the scientific thing. She was into you, was pheromones, blah, 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 blah. You running your game, she's running her game. You get her number. That's a win.
Yeah, I mean, I have nice teeth. Some chicks.
Whatever it is,
I'm not even a bad boy.
Shoes.
Yeah, they're like, yo,
it could have been nerd game. Yeah. People underestimate nerd game.
Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you.
That shit works. So, all right, you got her 3 days or 3 dates, right? If you don't smash within the first 3 encounters, what do you do?
It depends. If it was on some stuff where we're super compatible in terms of personality, like just an outlier, like we just get along and we could talk about anything and we're compatible on all these interests, but we're not into each other for whatever reason, then she would just be a friend at that point, or maybe an acquaintance, not necessarily a friend, but maybe an acquaintance.
All right. So after 3 days or 3 dates with me, I move on. She could call me if she wants to, but I'm not wasting my time.
Romantically, I would not. She's not an option anymore, period.
So here's my whole point. The point I was trying to make, going all the way back to the example with a rich dude who was wasting his money on the girl who was smashing you when she got, on the side, right? If that guy exercised those 3 things or 4 things that we just discussed here, right? He got her, he ran enough game to get her number. He understands he wants to smash, right? So he knows what he's doing. That's not my wife I'm trying to smash. She got 3 days or 3 dates, 3 encounters to let me smash. And if she doesn't, I'm moving on. Had he done that, he wouldn't have got his face cracked, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the game. You want to call that red pill? You want to call that player? What do you want to call it? That's the game. But it's not black pill in my opinion.
Black pill. Because you got to think. I'm coming to the same conclusions that you're coming to, but in my 20s, I wasn't red pill. I was never red pilled at any point in my life. When I was in college, my sophomore year, me and my friends would look at the pickup artists, like Mystery Method on VH1 and Mystery and all them. We would laugh at them and ridicule them and do pickup lines just for fun on women, just to joke around. And I've literally had pickup artists approach women in front of me in real life. So I've always looked at those guys as jokes and frauds and looked at them as just inferior in terms of their grasp of women and reality is just out of touch, completely delusional.
Is it?
DL, so guys like you, if you started, I know you have a YouTube channel, but like if you because your version of red pill is different, but if you like, let's say, really wanted to go 100% into like being some thought leader of the red pill, the way you describe stuff is way different than most red pillars. Most of them are living in a fantasy where they could just cope with money, and the wall is going to hit women at 35 or 30. And then when they hit 35, all these women are going to be running back to them, and they're going to be, have like a second coming and have all these high value, low body count women chasing them now because their money and status are higher and their game is better, their knowledge of women. DL, I just want to say, because I'll pass the mic back just to keep the time fair. In my 20s and even in my 30s, as recent as the last couple of years, there have been plenty of guys that had more knowledge than me, were more cultured, were more put together on by any metric, black pill, red pill, or just in general. They were good guys. They were good, good. They were, as a friend or acquaintance, I would say that's a real dude. As a friend, I respect him. However, the women that were using them were for foodie dates. Those were the same women that were texting me, the same women that were FaceTiming me, sending me nudes on Snapchat, sending other dudes nudes on Twitter, yada, 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 letting a younger broke dude smash. So at some point, we got to admit, even if older men or average looking or below average looking men there are some malleable factors in the dating game they can use to their benefit. They can improve in certain areas. But all I'm saying is there's a cap. Because if what you're saying is true, DL, these red pill aware guys, these high value men, these alpha men, these guys that knew the game and they knew female nature, why did the women not choose them over me? When I had a good corporate job, when I was on the project management team and I worked with literally Pfizer, and I would get on Zoom meetings with Pfizer execs every day, every morning or whatever. And I'm working with dudes from Japan and dudes, whatever. I'm not going to get too much in it. I'm working with dudes shipping vaccines to people, and I'm not going to get too into it. When I had that really good job with the best salary I ever had, the best benefits, but the best on my Tinder, I put my little whatever on Tinder. I probably got the least matches. I mean, I got some good matches. I got some attractive women, but when I was in my 20s and I was broke, I was getting better looking women, and my game was worse. I was saying dumber shit. I was goofy. Like in my 30s, I had a way better grasp of women. But in my 30s, and I've always pretty much dated women one at a time. I don't really do the rotation thing. But in my 30s, as far as quantity, it pales in comparison to when I had less game, less knowledge, less masculinity, less money, less status. And like I said, again, I'll emphasize, I had average game at best, and I was getting better women when I had less game than I do now. So at some point, we got to admit, game is not a magic bullet. Any of your listeners can improve their game to an astronomical degree, and there's still going to be some woman in her late 20s that's going to date me over him, even though he's the better decision on paper because he makes $100K more than me. He's more cultured. He's been around the world. He's a stable guy, yada, yada, yada. She's still going to choose me. It doesn't matter. Just like other chicks are going to choose an actual Tyrone over me that's a little taller, a little cuter, yada, yada, even if he makes less money than me. So nobody's
that's the part right there, brother. I don't agree with at all. That's the part right there. It's not a given. So, and then brother Ryan Bailey in the chat, he was like, hot women aren't long-term material. They could be, bro. Right? It could be. So what I'm hearing now, like, and thanks again.
I don't mean with every woman though. I'm saying I'm saying certain women that I encounter are going to be women that aren't hypergamous, and they're going to turn down guys with more money. They're going to turn down better looking guys because they actually like me. And
because
those women
you are what they want. You're right. And you knew the point I was
about to make. There are other women that look as good as them or better that aren't compatible with me for a number of reasons, whether it's black pilled or not. And it's going to be a combination regardless. But my point is because red pill would tell you that you can game your way out of that. And those women that aren't really in your natural dating pool, that aren't naturally, effortlessly kind of you guys can seamlessly vibe, and you don't have. It doesn't feel like you're grinding teeth to interact with her.
Okay, so all right.
There are even women that physically like how I look, but they'll meet me and they'll be like, Stefan, you're better off as just a friend because personality-wise, we get along as friends. But I have a hipster girl. My roommate, she would love you. I'll introduce you to her because you guys actually are more of a match personality-wise. So I'm saying I wouldn't take a red pill approach and try to game up the better-looking woman. I would be happy to meet her friend that looks slightly less attractive, but is a better match. And we both genuinely are attracted to each other on a reciprocal basis, and neither of us are using each other. And the more attractive friend that I met first, I'll introduce her to my other friend that maybe she naturally is more compatible with him. I'm not going to be red pill and think I can game my way out of it and use charisma or money or female nature to gain the more attractive friend into liking me. I'm just going to accept what it is. And DL, my friends did this. We would always approach a group of 5 or 6 women, whichever women were attracted to who, we would let the guys approach the women that liked them the most. So even if the best looking woman in the group liked the ugly guy, we didn't fight it. We let the ugly guy get her. We played our role. We played our lane. I'm going to go for the hipster chick that likes me. It is what it is. I'm not jealous. That's black pill. That's just acceptance. That's not negative or positive. That's just accepting the situation at hand and letting the women choose. That's it.
Again, it sounds like you're using the term black pill.
Letting the women choose.
Game. That's
all
game,
the
bro.
rappers that say women are choosing. They're black. That's black pill. When
women have always chose. Even in those situations, even when society didn't let women choose, they gave their heart, they gave their love to the men that they wanted, even though they had to marry someone else because the family married them off somewhere else. Right. So, but here's going back to your point again, great scenarios. You're running great scenarios. And I want to tie this in with brother Ryan Bailey's comment about hot women. Right. If you come across a hot woman and you running your normal game, you doing your thing, she's what you want. You keep your emotions in check and you start messing with her. You don't give her a pass on the 3-day rule, right? You're gonna smash within 3 days or 3 dates, right? You don't give her a pass on taking her out on the first few dates to expensive restaurants. No, we're gonna take her out to get ice cream. We're gonna take her out to get coffee, whatever. You stick to your way, whatever your way is. You stick to your game. Even though she's beautiful, even though she's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen and you want her, you maintain like your frame, so to speak, in the sense that you're keeping your emotions under control. If in fact, over time, like that woman is with you, you're being honest with her, like, hey, baby, I got a rotation right now. You're number 5, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And she sticks it out, works her way up to the number 1 spot, like Myron's girl, works her way up to the number 1 spot. That woman ain't looking at no other dude. And it ain't nothing you said, it ain't nothing you did, right? Red pill can't prescribe a sonnet, like, hey, read this poem, read this sonnet, say these words, and she gonna come smash you, she gonna come love you and never cheat on you. If they could do that, man, motherfuckers would be trillionaires. You know what I mean? If you can write that shit down, you paid. No, you stick to your game. You find that woman who's into you. She chose you. She let you smash. She is doing better in your life. She is adding value to you. She is not going to look at another dude. Other men are going to disgust her, right? And she could be beautiful. So but you're saying with the black pill side,
she's not going to look literally, or you just mean metaphorically?
If she is with you,
I think she's going to look, but she won't entertain it.
Nah, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Women look, DL, women with dudes that look better than me have cheated on them with me. So that means that you don't even necessarily have to look better than the guy to be interested. So what that tells me is women will look. But I'm not saying they're going to act on it. I'm not saying every woman's going to act on it. I know plenty of good women who, again, I have plenty of friends who are wifed up. They've never been cheated on. They have good women. Some of them are hot.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
They're good women, though. I get it.
Let me ask you a question. When you're out and about doing your thing, and some fat, hideous, ugly, rude woman goes walking by, do you look at her?
Oh, I'm not going to look at a fat woman regardless.
Thank you. So when a woman is really into her guy, all men, right, or the fat dudes, the nasty, repulsive guys, humans that they don't look at. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And it sounds to me, maybe you haven't come across that woman who was really into you.
No,
and I'm telling you from a fact.
No, it's easy. No. The reason I say no, I just want to preface this. The reason I say that is because I can presuppose that because I have, to my knowledge, never been cheated on. But with my knowledge, all I'm saying is, even if I haven't ever been cheated on, I wouldn't be surprised if one of my girlfriends glanced at somebody while we were out. That's not. There have been times where I glanced
at women like that. There's a difference, bro. When have you glanced at a disgusting, horrible looking fat chick?
No, but
Thank you.
I get what you're saying. It sounds good on paper, but when you're really black pilled, the dudes that are really black pilled that really get women, it's not just about taking women from like corny dudes or dudes that look ugly or make less money. The dudes that are really black pilled, they take women from dudes that are quote unquote better than them from any metric. I'm not just saying black or red pilled. I'm saying what personality, looks, morals, upstanding character, height, face, body, money, status. It does not matter. Female autonomy, in addition to the neurotypicality and all that, that's the biggest issue. Even if you're the better looking guy, women can still do like a trap card like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or an eject button, say, okay, even if you're the better option, I can still go against that and spite you and choose a worse guy. So at the end of the day, it's black pilled regardless. So I'm just saying for guys, I'm not saying you got to be depressed and not get married or not have kids. I literally had a girlfriend living with me and I was paying for most of the shit. I'm like, yo, you could pay for your car and all that shit, but I'm not going to ask you for money for my, you could smoke my weed, you could live with me, whatever. So I'm not some nihilist doomer. I literally had a whole relationship while having a channel, but I was realistic the whole time. There may have been better looking chicks in my Instagram or better looking chicks I went to school with or yada, yada, yada. But I'm not going to put in work and try to cheat on them when I had a woman that was willing to cook for me and drive me to work on Sunday, even though if she really wanted to, she could leave me for a 37-year-old guy that makes more money than me and has better game, is more cultured and treats her better. And he doesn't have a mood disorder like I do. But because he's 4 inches shorter than me and he doesn't look, he's not her particular type, she's willing to use him for a foodie date and she's willing to date me. That's all every day. And vice versa. That same guy hold
on. Before you go on,
there are white girls that like him that don't like me. So it works both ways. I'm not saying every woman's going to choose me. Some women will choose him over me. It's so embrace the women that
stop. Before I forget, you know, I gotta hold these thoughts in my mind. You said black pill guys getting women. That's a fallacy. No man is getting a woman. No man can walk up to a woman anywhere on planet Earth.
Not legally. DL, you gotta separate.
I'm gonna lose it.
You're not even the majority. My bad.
Let me finish. Those women choose. So if you got some guys out here who are quote unquote black pill and they're coming up on chicks, those women chose those guys. It's this not a red pillar, black pillar, blue pillar, fucking whatever color pillar you want to. There is no game that exists. I'm gonna say these words. Where I said this, I just got to drill down on that, right? So when you say that these guys can pull this woman, no. And the point that I'm making is, if you have a woman, and Rolo talks about this, right? The Tates talked about this. Anyone who's been out here womanizing, anybody who's been out here in the trenches will say that. They'll tell you, if a woman has a man that is everything she wants, whatever that may be, he might be short, he might be tall, he might be rich, he might be broke, he might be fat, might be skinny. If that is the dude she wants, if she believes that that is the best she can get, and that's 100% what I want, all the other men are fat, disgusting slugs. No matter what he looks like, he can be tall. There is no, my celebrity crush. There is no celebrity crush.
But
those women,
that's still black pill though. The guy that she's choosing, that she sees as her best option, a lot of that is based on factors that are not under his control. That is literally black pill. So whether a guy looks better than me or worse than me, his woman's choice is black pill. It doesn't. I've had women with literally I had a white girl at a bar with a Chad boyfriend who was younger than me, looked better than me, made more money than me, and the guys that watch my old channel have seen the video of my Snapchat or whatever, my Instagram. So I'm not going to whatever, but he literally beat me in every category except he was maybe 5'8", and so I was like 3 and some change inches taller, and maybe the fact that I had a white friend at the bar made her feel safe to approach me. Maybe if I didn't have him there, she wouldn't. Maybe I would have just been a fantasy or whatever. But for whatever reason, she was rubbing my thigh and flirting with me and asking me what I'm drinking right next to her Chad-like boyfriend that looks better than me. So I'm not even saying it's about, again, guys taking advantage of ugly men or whatever. It could even be a good-looking dude and his girl cheats with a less attractive dude. So I'm saying female autonomy is one of the biggest factors that black and red pillars both ignore. And they're like, oh, it's all just carnal female nature, yada, yada, yada. I mean, a lot of it is like subconscious female nature or their subconscious attraction. But yeah. You can respond, Dia. My bad. I don't want to.
No, I mean, it's just I'm listening to you, bro, and you know you're saying black pill, but a lot of the things that you're talking about,
because Doomer is not black pill. That is a bastardized interpretation of the black pill. A lot of Doomers don't even have experience with women. So,
but hear me out. Like, you're using this term black pill as a substitute for red pill. Hell, you can call it, you know what I mean, rainbow pill. I don't give a shit what pill you call it. All I'm saying is knowledge. Someone like yourself, who, like you said, you're in college, you smashing chicks, you've been doing whatever you're doing, you're in the top 20%. So earlier you were talking about, well, you know, we would, you know, clown on the guys who were doing the game, the pickup artistry and stuff like this. My thing is, I don't care what method you use if you're getting positive results and you're not hurting anyone, right? And no, like they say, man, all's fair in love and war. So you out here, you getting positive results. I'm not knocking your shit. You want to nag this chick and she falls for that or whatever, you manage to do your little pickup artistry or whatever. I got those books. I've read those books just so I could be up to speed on what's going on. I'm just like, okay, if that works for you, bro. But that same woman who like if she can fall for that shit and then have, you know, it's like wants to be with you or whatever, because at the end of the day, she still got to choose to let you have the Foxy Brown, right? She chooses to do that. She chooses to let you get the Foxy Brown, man. She gonna fuck any of your body, right? And that goes into what you were just saying. Now you're sitting next to that same woman who fell for this dude's game, which I'm like, cool, I'm glad he did it. He's fucking, he in the top 20%, but she rubbing on your leg, trying to sneak up into your crib and give you the Foxy Brown. And guess what? When Uncle Saint walk in the room, when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, right? She gonna want to give me the Foxy Brown. That's the 304.
No, I disagree with that.
That's the 304 right there, bro. I mean, she just don't know what to do with herself, and she is still gonna find some dude.
I disagree. I disagree. Well, it depends. It depends on the chick. Her, I'm not sure because I stopped. I used to go. Her boyfriend is really a super cool dude, so I didn't really like try to pursue her after that because I'm like, it just would have been weird, like because he was like really a cool dude. Like we had drinks with him and everything that night. So I can't speak on that because I didn't continue to try to talk to her. But based on what I saw, there were other more attractive men in that bar she could have chose up on that were black and white. She could have. Again, I'm 5'11", 5'11 and a half, barefoot. So in shoes, yeah, I'm 6 foot. But when I go to the bars, there's plenty of guys at 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", black dudes, rich dudes, white dudes, Middle Eastern, Asian. Like it wasn't like, you know, she could have easily went across the bar, went to the 6'3" black dude that you know played football for Villanova or whatever the fuck, you know, like so. I get what you're saying, DL, but I'm just I think if what you were saying was true,
understanding game, it's just understanding.
If what you were saying was true, I don't think in these situations I would have that I would have been chosen. I think the guys that were practicing what you're preaching right now, they would have been chosen, and I would have been chasing the chick, and I would have been like, damn, why is this 22-year-old college girl so loyal to this old, rich, ugly white dude just because of money? She's not letting me smash. She's putting me on a back burner. She's using me for foodie dates, yada, yada, yada. That didn't happen. The guys that were practicing what you preach, they were the guys being used by these same women. And again, not just college. A lot of this, literally a couple years ago, I went out with a chick who had a boyfriend, and we went on a date in this nice Indian restaurant downtown, yada, yada, whatever. She had a boyfriend, and we went to the same school. But the way she did it, she didn't even exchange numbers. We went out without her, just through Instagram, because I had to burn her Instagram because I get banned so much. So literally, some of these high value career women with these, and again, I'll tell you, her boyfriend is not a slouch. He probably make more money than me, in shape, looks good, all that. I think he's a little older than me. So, but for some reason, even though he's practicing what you're preaching, he's not simping for her or leading with the money. He has more money than me, yes, but he's more cultured. He's a solid dude. Like, I could hit up dudes from college that are cool with him, and I could ask how he's doing. Like, he's a cool dude. But again, his chick was still willing to meet up with me, even though I'm broke, I'm not ambitious, I'm not super alpha or masculine. My game is, again, average at best. So
let me stop you right there, though. You're putting yourself in a box.
Black pill and letting women.
But hold on, let me put you right there. You're putting yourself in a box that you don't qualify for, bro. If you're smashing, right, you're in the top 20, man. That is the bottom line. Now you're saying a lot of things. You're trying to figure out why these women are letting you smash or whatever. Why these dudes are getting on with these women or whatever. To me, that sounds like me questioning why the DB who's it's a football analogy, right? I play football. I'm a receiver. I run a better route. I catch the ball. I score. I'm not questioning why the DB couldn't cover me, right? Is he a shitty DB? No, he might have just tripped. Maybe he was reading something in the backfield. Maybe it was something the quarterback did, but I scored. I don't question why, right? If you ask me, why'd you score, Uncle Saint? Because I'm fucking good, right?
Red pillars do question, not you, but other red pillars, they'll be like, oh, well, Stefan, if that was me, I literally had Obsidian, who's obviously banned from YouTube, but the Black Manosphere Obsidian, because we used to debate all the time on his channel.
Yeah, I don't fuck
he
around
told me
there.
to my face, because we both from Philly, he said he could walk in a room and he could take a girl from me just because he make more money and this and that. And I'm like, bro,
that's not true.
I've already been in that situation. So DL, what?
That's not true. What he said, he can't walk in the room and take your chick. He can't. Nobody could do that. You know what I mean? That chick has to choose him. So there's nothing he can do is say to come in there and she's just gonna walk off and go smash this dude. Nothing.
Old
You know what I'm
men
saying?
to assume that they can bring us into bed or like trick us into bed. We knew we were gonna fuck you. Hold on. We knew we were gonna fuck you the moment that we talked to you, met you, whatever. Like, we had already decided. Shit, some women decide before they even meet your ass. They get to
that's
the club,
black pill. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That stuff I cannot control. Thank you.
Hold on. But what I'm saying is, you want to classify it into a fucking pill. I'm like, I don't care, whatever. Red pill says, okay, your circumstances suck. What are you going to do about it? DL is saying it's giving, you're not going to do anything about it. So guys, put your final thoughts, because we are going on 2 hours. And I mean, unless you guys are chilling, I don't know. I feel like you're going in a circle a little bit.
I think most red pillars, they need to take notes from DL, because if most red pillars approach the red pill, or the popular ones anyway, that that have a lot of subscribers, if they approached it from your perspective with this nuance built into it, I wouldn't be roasting red pillars. I'd be like, yo, these guys are reasonable. They seem to get it. Like, I don't even care about whatever minuscule stuff we disagree on. These guys are sensible people. I can kind of, I can collab with. But most red pillars, they're not approaching it from your perspective. Like, they're not as reasonable as this.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I've noticed that in this space, again, like I said earlier, these people are looking for one vessel: the red pill, the black pill, the gray pill, the purple pill. Y'all was talking about purple pill, whatever fucking pill, right? They're looking for this one way, all in. You know what I'm saying? And they just go. And I'm like, nah, bro. The Tate said this. You know, a lot of people don't like Fresh and Fit, and I get it. Those daytime shows, when they had these conversations, dudes are not listening to what they are saying, right? When they talk about money, why do they want you to have money? So you can choose. Why do they want you to have knowledge? So you can choose the woman you decide to fuck with, right? And let me finish the thought. My point is this: people are hearing what they want to hear instead of opening themselves up to the true knowledge, man. It's like Star Wars, bro. You know, it's like right now, the manosphere is split. You got the Jedi over here, you got the Sith over here. Me, I'm a gray Jedi. I'm in the middle. I'm like, both these motherfuckers are right. And I'm gonna use the force in every conceivable way to get on how I want to get on. And I mean, and I tell people all the time when it comes to using the force, bro, join me. Right?
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Fuck Yoda, fuck Darth Vader. We gray over here. Let's learn how this shit is on the ground. In the military, we trained hard. Now I was at Fort Bragg, bro. Our job was to jump out of airplanes and go do what we had to go do. We trained hard to the point where you could die in training.
Wait, were you what branch were you again?
Army, United States Army. Army.
Oh, thank you for your service too.
Oh, you're welcome, bro. So, but my point is this: we would get the best intel. We would draw sand tables. We would have all sorts of shit. We know how we're gonna do it, when we getting in, how we getting out. Right? We know everything, right? Then we get to the target, real world. Now it's time to hit the target. Everything we trained for, everything that we told was gonna happen, none of that shit happened. Right? None of it. We get in there, man. It's completely foobar, bro. It's all fucked up. But guess what? We still have to achieve our mission. We still got objectives we got to hit, right? And that's where I am with all this. Anybody out there that's listening to me, yo, fuck the debates, fuck all this bullshit. Figure out what your mission is, and then come to someone like me or Lucario or, you know what I mean? You holler at Brother Tyrone, whoever you want to holler at, so you can come up with your objectives, get better, and accomplish your fucking mission. There is no fucking reason you should be sexless as a man in today's world. These women fucking all the time, bro. All the time. So what you need to do is work on yourself, figure out where you are lacking, right? What did the Tate say on Fresh and Fit? It was you had Andrew, Tristan, Tate, Justin Wilder was on there, Sterling was on there, Rolo was on there. I forget who else. They call it the Avengers. They were talking about the buckets, right? You can't just have one bucket that's full of money, or one bucket that's full of, game or understanding. One bucket that's full of clout. You got to have an equal amount of water in all your buckets. All that shit matters. All of it, right? And at the end of the day, you got to understand that you might lose. But my thing is with a lot of these the black pillars, and I'm not talking about you, Brother Tyrone, I'm just talking about in general. These guys lose. They get their face cracked, and they don't fuck around with it no more because it hurt. Man, I was a paratrooper. Every time we put on those fucking parachutes and jumped out of a fucking airplane, it hurt. It was uncomfortable having them damn things on. Hit the ground hard as hell. Ask anybody who's ever jumped out of an airplane while in flight. This shit hurts. And guess what? We hurt before the mission. Now we got to get up with all our bumps and bruises and pains and shit, rub some dirt on it, and go out there and do America's business. My problem with the black pill is these dudes are fucking giving up too soon. I don't give a fuck if you a nerd or whatever. You could be a nerd going to goddamn Comic-Con. We talked about this on Portia's show. You could go onto this platform right here, by the way. I keep forgetting I'm Simon's classic, but you could be a nerd. If you are good at cosplaying, if you know everything about fucking Star Wars or Marvel or whatever the fuck, Dungeons and Dragons, and you go to a Comic-Con, bro, you fucking. Right? You gonna holler at somebody.
I would agree. I would just say there's a cap on it. That's the only addition.
Explain that to me real quick.
Okay, just for example, if we go to Comic-Con and there's some average looking dude that takes your advice, goes to Comic-Con, he sees some women there, they like the same anime, the same video games he's into or whatever. They're cosplaying and stuff. They could like make easy conversation. If I happen to be, not even just me, but if I or somebody else that's equal or better, if we're in that vicinity and that woman happens to be our taste and we're her taste, no amount of game or anything can help him unless it's on some like timing logistics where he meets her first and she's invested in him to the point where by the time I meet her, she's already kind of figured out who she's leaving with. Unless it's that type of scenario, he might have to just accept the fact that this one particular girl that's in the Naruto is not into him. She's already into some Chad Roan that's, dressed up as Sasuke or whatever, and she's into him. They are whatever. She has her first pick. There might be a slightly less attractive woman at the booth next to her that's into him, that instead of ignoring just because there's another hot girl, if he was black pilled, he might give her a chance and be like, okay, she does fit my requirements. She is attractive. She's not hideous or anything. I'm going to at least see what she's talking about and hear her out because I am mildly attracted to her. I don't see anything wrong with that because, again, he gave it a fair shot. He may have approached a hot looking one and had some conversation, but she may have said, oh, take my Instagram. She doesn't even want to give me a number. So he moved.
This is what I was saying. Not to cut you off, but this is. I want to jump in right here. I would say to the guy in that scenario to smash them both, just like your scenario with the one.
But he's not going to smash them both,
and he should, and that's the whole point.
I'm saying the hot one doesn't. I'm saying in my scenario, the hot one doesn't want him.
Fine, but he's still going to gun at her, and he's also gonna gun at the other girl that you said was.
No, he should approach them. I'm saying when he gets rejected, he should accept it.
What you mean accept it?
I'm saying again, like I said,
if I was not go over ahead and drag her off, man, we're not cavemen anymore.
Yeah, I can put myself in this hypothetical. I can use myself just for the sake of argument. If I was that guy myself and I approached that hot chick, if she says 30 or 2 minutes in or less, oh, take my Instagram, I don't give my number out. To me, that's an instant I'm out. There's no point in wasting my time. If it's a situation
I literally give out my Instagram over my phone number on purpose. So I can.
Me too. I don't ask for numbers anymore. I want Instagram.
Can I finish?
No, because my opinion matters. I
know, but I have to finish the example because DL's. I assume he was going to bring up nuances anyway. Once I
I'm going to run the same scenario. I want to hear your scenario, and then I'm going to run the same scenario.
I'm trying. Right. No, but I'm saying I have to finish this because the second part again. I have to give the other again.
Let's hear it.
Again, Torshaa, if I approach 20 women, I might get rejected 3 times. The other 17 times, I'm probably going to get 10 numbers, whatever. But my point is, if I talk to her for 5 minutes and we're compatible and she's mildly attracted to me, I'm probably going to get the number. I'm not going to get an Instagram. And again, I'm not just going by my 20s. I've smashed a woman within the last year. I'm not just.
I believe you.
So let me give you a scenario. Same scenario.
If she's mildly attracted, yes, I'll get her number. I'll get both. Yes, in that scenario, yes, I'll smash both.
Titties. See, it shuts them up like that. Okay.
Okay. I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck, I almost forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, let's say that everything you say is true. I grant it to you, looks, whatever, all the shit. Let's say that you have the girl and she gives you her number because she thought you were hot, whatever it was. She was already kind of attracted to you. Now what? Like to get a girl to even answer a text doesn't work all the time. To set up a date, it's like, hold on. Yeah. Just because she might have been attracted to you doesn't mean you're going to get her to respond. So what does it matter? Okay, I'll shut up.
Well, it matters because the other guy that took DL Saint's advice and Myron and Fresh or Donovan Sharp's advice. He went to that Comic-Con for that hot girl because he was sold a dream of not getting a girl that's on his level that's average looking. He was sold a dream that we all can smash sevens. I can name friends that were fives or below fives that smash hot looking women, but I know for every ugly dude that was smashing hotter women than I did, there was another 9 or 20 or 50 or 100 ugly dudes that weren't smashing anything. And I would run into these guys on campus. And sometimes some of these guys, I would forget they even went to the same school. You literally never saw. One of them, he lived in my dorm freshman year. Spring semester, I saw the guy once. I'm like, yo, I forgot you even went to the school. That's how antisocial he was.
Well, Invisible Man, right?
Right. He was social. He was nice. Whatever.
He didn't do everything right because he wouldn't have been invisible. It's still some things he could have done.
I'll grant you.
He didn't do everything right.
But
so back to the let me give my scenario on that example, right? 2 girls wearing Comic-Con. I'm dressed up as a Colonial Viper pilot. Yeah, Uncle Saint knows about Battlestar Galactica from the 70s, and Ronald D. Moore's Battlestar Galactica was like the best sci-fi I've seen in decades. I'm dressed up as fucking, I don't know, Boomer. The old Boomer, the black Boomer from the 1978 Battlestar Galactica. Y'all nerds know what I'm talking about. That's right. Don't tell nobody Uncle Saint said this shit because I swear I sneak up on you and I cut you. So I'm just joking. So I'm dressed up as a Colonial Viper from the 1978 whatever Battlestar Galactica. I come up on 2 hot chicks. One really a 9, and then the other girl is like a 6, right? And a 6 is 1 step above average, guys. 5 is average. So 5s are good. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I run it. I make my run at the hot chick. She rushed me with her Instagram. Perfect. That's what I want. I break contact right away. I made contact with the 6, right? I talked to her. I spent a little bit more time with her, right? Talk to her. I break contact. Now, how is this going to play out? Later on my Instagram story, it's going to show that because I'm going to be at Sidebar. I got a table because, Comic-Con's in San Diego, guys. And one of the hot spots was Sidebar. I don't know if it's still there, but it was there forever. It's a great spot. I'm in the club. She sees that shit. She goes to that club, the hot girl, right? And so does the 5 or 6 girl. She come in there, right? Now, all the rest of that red pill shit comes into play. I got a table, right? Status. She hits me up. I'm having trouble getting in. Oh, no problem. I walk her in. Damn, this guy got pulled. I walk in the other girl too. We at the table. It's ballers at the table. I'm like a couple of us dressed up, but this dude's wearing suits or whatever. 5, 6 bottles coming out. I'm not buying them. The dudes at the table buying them. Smart dudes, wealthy dudes, clouded up people they recognize from around town. Right? Now, I'm in a position because I've been talking to these chicks. I'm going to smash one of these girls. And it's not anything that I'm saying to them. They're just like into the conversation. I get to, I'm in a position because I did the work, right? I worked on my game. I have the social proof, right? I know how to approach. I put myself in a position where I could be successful. That's a really good chance I'm going to wind up smashing one of these 2 women, right? Or I might not smash neither one of them. But when I circle back to San Diego a year later or 6 months later, and I hit them up, oh, you're in San Diego, definitely going to smash that time, right? The black pillars are just like, she won't even talk to me because, and enter whatever fucking reason. My thing is, no, go work on these things, right? Remember, enough water in each bucket, and you're going to get the success. And it all boils down to what? What was DL Saint trying to do? What was his mission in San Diego? My mission was to smash. So if I come out of there and I smash one woman on that weekend trip, mission accomplished, right? I wasn't trying to get married. Now, if my mission was to get married, I'm not going out after the Comic-Con, right? I'm going to be with the woman I'm trying to be with. Completely different game, completely different skill set, completely different way of moving. And my biggest problem with these guys in the black pill, because I hear what you're saying, is like, oh, the red pill's trying to sell your dreams.
Would be almost identical. I don't just
almost like it's my point. That's the whole point. You're not a black pillar, bro.
No. I just want to click just to make. I want to get your thoughts on the slight differentiation. If in this hypothetical, if that 9, if I get her Instagram, because again, I don't believe in Instagram, but let's say instead of me getting a number, let's say it was a girl that wasn't or wasn't obviously attracted to me. Let's say at best it was low interest at best, right? So not medium, not high, low at best. Let's say I could get the number, but I don't feel like trying to get it. It's clearly low interest. But let's say she's an interesting girl, and her friends seem like interesting people. I'm like, you know what? Let me just get the Insta, right? I would still follow her and still go to the after party with my friends, or like on my Insta story when I'm going to different events at Comic-Con, I would still post different people I'm meeting and different events. And then when we go to the after party, when we pregame, I'm going to post all that on my Insta regardless. The difference is that girl that you're chasing when you're at the after party or at the club and you bought a section with your high value older friends, I wouldn't be chasing her. If me and my friends end up going to that same venue, I would be trying to meet her and just find her friends that are genuinely into me, if that was it. Now, me and my friends, we would prioritize other groups of women to meet up with. So
let me jump in real quick. I got a question for you. If you had
no other option, then yes, I would go to that venue and yes.
Hold on. Real quick. You said you and your friends will go in. Now you want to, because you want to kind of run the whole thing. My question is this. Or is your mission just to meet one woman? Is that your mission? I just want to meet one. No. Is that your mission?
No, right? It depends on what
I use the old adage.
It's not one in the literal sense. It's on average. I'm going to use a real. I'm not going to use
out of that crew in this scenario. Out of that crew, you just hope to get one out of that crew. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, no. It's just I don't have a desire to build a rotation. So whenever I go out on a nightly basis, if I get one number, two numbers, or three numbers, it doesn't make a difference to me.
No, remember you said in the scenario, like, you would still go out, you would pose.
I'm saying that would be my mindset regardless.
Your mindset is to meld the two groups. I got my social group, me and my homies. She got her and her girls. You're trying to mesh the groups, and right, that's the goal.
But that's only if we had no other option.
In this scenario, you want to get the goal. So your goal is hopefully me and the homies can hit one of these chicks, right? That's the goal.
No. I would post all that same stuff on my Instagram story. But what I'm saying is when we went to that venue, I wouldn't waste money buying a section or trying to use game. I would just go to the venue with my friends. And if I run into that same chick from earlier and we're still cordial, but let's say I meet her and she's into my roommate, like she genuinely is like, yo, Stefan, I met you earlier. You're cool. But your roommate, you should have brought him. He's cute. I like him.
You already said that. You're not going to get in the way.
Let's say her friend, one of her friends like me. Now, there may be other women in the venue that like me as well, but I already know her. So I'm willing to entertain one of her friends who I can clearly see is attractive.
Okay, and you answered my question. Okay, great.
You answered my question. Like her friend is, because I met her earlier.
You answered my question.
Yeah.
You answered my question. So, and here's the thing. I'm sure you've heard this. I'm going to say this. I'm pretty sure you've heard this. And I'm pretty sure the people in the chat have heard this, right? Two bulls on top of a hill looking down at all the cows down there. The young bull says to the old bull, let's run down this hill and smash one of these cows. And the old bull says to the young bull, let's walk down this hill and smash them all. That's Uncle Saint. I'm trying to smash the whole crew. I want my homeboys to smash the whole crew too. I'm not going in there just to get one. And so I guess
Saint, I want to just say,
when I was young, I guess I was a hoe. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I don't judge you. I don't judge you. I'm not a slut shamer. Whether you're a man or a woman, I don't slut shame. Like I'm not a double standards guy. Even if you're a woman, I'm not going to slut shame you. But I just want to say I've literally smashed real sisters before, like Future.
Yeah,
and I didn't go into
it. Mom and daughter combos are the best, bro. There's double points right there.
And I'm not even saying it to brag. I'm just saying it because it's relevant to the topic. Because the one that I knew first was a friend for years, and she wasn't single when I first met her, but years later she ended up transferring to my school, and we messed around. But before that, I messed with her sister because we were just friends. So at the time, it was a double date. She messed with one of my friends at the time. I messed with her sister, but me and her sister weren't super compatible. So later on, I ended up smashing her because, again, the female
all red
friends
pill,
I
bro.
have,
It's all
the ones that
game. It's
are
all game, my
attracted.
friend.
They know that I'm attracted to them. I'm not.
Brother
It's not a
Tyrone,
secret.
it's all
But
game.
there was no. It had nothing to do with game. It wasn't game. It wasn't mine.
It is. You might not realize the game you running, but you running game. Women want the bad boys. You're not out here going out there being a good boy. I think you're running the wolf in sheep's clothing game myself. I think you walk out there and they talk to you like, oh, listen to this nerdy ass motherfucker. Next thing you know what I'm saying? You got their legs pinned behind their ears. You know what I'm saying? That's game. That's game. You know what I mean? It's dudes, it's plenty of game. Whether you realize you running it or not, it's still game. I think it was Brother Lasagna was like, dang, Uncle Saint trying to smash every girl in the club. Yes, because it's a numbers game. You know what I mean? Real quick, I saw Brother Pitney in the building. I got another one of mine in there. Brother Pitney in the building. I see you, bro. I see you. It's all game. So can you get a guy who is just inexperienced with women, who's going to go out here and work on his social skill and all that stuff? Can he go out there and at least get a girlfriend, get some, get some Foxy Brown? He can, if he's willing to do the work. Shout out to Rich Cooper. Most of these dudes don't do the work and they spin around and they blame someone. Brother Tyrone is different. He's getting chicks, but he's just out here for whatever reason trying to figure out why these chicks are losing and he's winning. I could care less why people are losing. You know what I mean? My opponent is losing so long as I'm winning, right? But game works.
Well, I'm out of the game. Remember, I'm 35, so I'm getting up there in age. I'm retired.
You ain't out of the game, bro, because you still understand how it works. If, in fact, you want to holler at somebody, you know how to do it. You can still run the sheep and wolf closing game even better now that you're older. It works.
Oh,
even
no,
better.
this is DL. The reason I don't think it's wolf in sheep's clothing is because up front, chicks know up front I'm moody. They know my mental. They know, like, I'm brutally honest. Like DL, just to make the point, there was a chick. I think I was maybe like 22, 23. I had this nice little skinny, dark-skinned college chick modeled or whatever. And to be honest, I had a girlfriend at the time. I'm not going to say which one. And my girl, I've admitted to cheating, so they know what it is. But
you guys are really gonna go help my mom. She's like singing right now. So if you guys could please wrap it up with a few.
You can wrap it up. Yeah.
Everybody, where to find you guys? You guys can stream. Just I have to leave.
Oh
so.
yeah.
So tell everybody where they.
You can if you type in Educated Tyrone, it's going to come up. I'm already streaming on my channel, so I think it would just keep going. If not, I would just restart it if it cuts off. But
yeah, sorry, I don't know if I misspoke. It will cut off, so you'll have to make a new one.
Yeah. So I have to restart it. But
so that's cool. And you guys can find me on YouTube. DL saying I really want to know podcast. Please come over and check us out, man. Like, we're young, we're going over here, we're grown, but you can see, man, we out here. I got soldiers in the chat, man. We out here, we're doing our thing. You can find me on Instagram. I really want to know podcast.
My name is Instagram the best way for, like, if I want to reach out to you to debate?
Yes.
Like, whether it's on your channel or Torsha's, Instagram is the best way, or some?
Yes. Reach out to me on Instagram. And then real quick, I just want to throw this in before I go. Brother Michael Burns, he's like, the average cost to have a girlfriend is like $1,600 a month. Now consider a 20-year-old against DL. Here's the thing, brother. If you're spending $1,600 a month on a girlfriend, bro, you're wrong, especially when you're young, right? You don't have to spend the money. Again, you want a red pill truth?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I don't know how we add it up.
Aaron Clary, Book of Numbers, Aaron Clary, good book, guys. If you want to read something, the Book of Numbers is a great book. Aaron Clary, check it out. You know what I mean? Yes, it normally costs, but don't spend the money, especially when you're young. She got money too. Have her take you out, bro. Picnic, bro. Right? When you out buying your groceries, you buying groceries for you. You can make an extra sandwich for her. Hopefully she ain't no big girl. Don't be spending that kind of bread on women because you're going to lose. Make them invest in you. That's something we can get into. Torshaa got to go. We got to go. But appreciate Torshaa. Where you at, girl? Where you at?
Thank you so much. I was like, you take it away. You're doing
appreciate you bringing me on, girl.
Hell yeah.
Brother Tyrone, I appreciate the conversation. I don't really consider this a debate. Because if you have a debate, you gotta have a
conversation. Yeah, because we're both more kind of in the middle. Neither of us are extremists.
Quit capping, man. You are red pill. All right. I don't know what's this black.
No, I'm black pill, bro.
He's red pill.
No, when I smashed those two sisters, that was black pill. That was
red.
No. And I literally
All right.
years later, the sister that I originally met,
Do a
her
stream.
boyfriend was knocking on my door while she was asleep in
Please.
my room, but luckily my roommates didn't let him in the house so he could kill me in my sleep.
I don't care. I'm just kidding.
That's Black Pill. That's female autonomy supersedes all. That's it.
Pick up on the social cue, my guy.
We gotta go. Hey, Torshaa, I appreciate all your people. You know what I mean, and I appreciate you coming over here. The only pill I'm interested in right now is the Torshaa pill because Torshaa keep it in 100 over here, y'all. Y'all need to take that Torshaa pill. You know what I mean? Y'all need to get y'all shit right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for having me, brother Tyrone. It was a pleasure. Sister Torshaa, I'm hollering.
Yeah, one of y'all sips need to marry Torshaa already. Y'all, I know y'all love her. Y'all need to
get married. We know this, but thank you, Tyrone.
I need to take it serious. Top half, Stefan.
I'm not a good wife. I'm not.
Treat her like a lady.
Over in divorce.
Y'all need to wine and dine Torshaa and stop commenting and simping. Y'all need to approach her in real life.
What are you talking about?
Torshaa's a blue pillar. We all know she wants a boyfriend to cuddle up with every night.
And so my experience is going to be way different than yours.
Torshaa, any woman that has dated a guy that looks like wee waffles has to be a blue pillar. I'm sorry.
No comment. Goodbye.
Yeah. I'm sorry.